Skeleton, Nashville. A Cumulus station. Trending now at 104.5 The Zone.
Good afternoon. I am Joe Hunk, and right now you have two teams in the state of Tennessee that are heading to the College World Series in Omaha. Vanderbilt advances after beating East Carolina in 2 straight games. They will be facing Arizona in their first game in Omaha, and Tennessee defeated the LSU Tigers, and they will be facing the winner of Baptist South and Virginia, who are currently playing right now. And at the moment, Virginia holds a 5-2 lead on Dallas Baptist in the bottom of the 8th inning. Speaking of the Tennessee Vols, over the weekend, Tennessee picked up a commitment for the 2022 class in running back Dylan Sampson as he announced his commitment to the Vols. Sampson is enlisted at 5'10". He weighs about $180, and he is considered a 3-star prospect. And down in Jacksonville, we talked about it last week, the Jaguars are being extra careful now with Trevor Lawrence's hamstring. Apparently, the tightness is causing them to have to limit him this week at mandatory minicamp, and they have had to keep him out of a lot of team drills, and Urban Meyer says that could be the case for tomorrow as well. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans, the Vols, and 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
The 3HL with Brent Doherty, Don Davenport.
Thing for a little recruiting visit for his son, which is fun.
Yeah, Sea-Dog was doing some long snapping. Brent posted a video of him getting some one-on-one training, so
That's pretty cool.
yeah, it is.
Texas Tech is an awesome campus too, by the way. I love it there.
Facilities looked amazing that Brent showed. Right?
Yeah. So just me and you holding down the fort, Slay.
It's us, and we're gonna be like this a lot during this week. So people
yes.
get ready.
Get ready for it. We will power through for this week without the mayor, without the leader. So there will be times where we might be all over the place.
Yeah,
oh, wait,
right.
we always are.
Can't be any
Exactly.
worse than Friday.
Yeah.
Friday was
That's
a train
what I
wreck.
heard.
Yes.
I heard that without Mama Babs here to keep you boys in line, it was a little bit of a disaster.
And guess what, Babs? I was beckoning and trying to get people to call you and like, hey, somebody send Babs up here. I know she's off, but
Yep.
they send her up here. We can get things back on track. You never came, so
I did
she's
get a
off the rails.
text that said the boys are out of control.
There was I couldn't do anything from here. I
So
just
good.
couldn't. I was talking in their ear. They weren't listening. that was happening.
Well, that makes me feel loved. See,
Yeah.
there
No,
you
no,
go.
you're
might
not
be.
allowed.
I
Look,
might be helpful.
I
at
know
some
that
point.
between this time and when we get going with football, everybody's going to be taking vacation.
Yeah.
You just cannot do it when they're out of the building.
right
Because
yes.
it is a total crap storm.
that is very true.
So on that progress report, it was a lot of talking back to Hunk and me. Me personally, I like to apologize for my behavior, Hunk. I was,
Ooh.
yeah, I was. Yeah,
this is how we're
barbecue-
starting our Monday. I
Yeah,
like
barbecue had taken over my life at the time, and I really couldn't focus. And I was daring Hunk to cut my mic off and not let me talk. And
it. I mean,
I was.
that happens.
yeah, he
I was back and forth. I just kept going.
Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah, man,
it was lovely.
it was a nice little Shiana show, apparently.
It was an experience.
All right. Well, welcome in, everybody. So glad you are with us here on the Zone on this Monday. Did anybody in this room happen to watch some baseball this weekend? Oh, my gosh. Trust me, I know that Slay's going to go off on this, but
Better believe it.
Vanderbilt and Tennessee headed to Omaha. That's pretty impressive. I was talking earlier prior to our show to Hunk, actually, and I always get asked, like, what has been your favorite venue to cover? What's been your favorite event to cover in your time in broadcasting? And hands down, no question, it's the College World Series in Omaha.
Yeah.
I got to go in 2011, Vanderbilt's very first appearance ever for Tim Corbin, and it was the brand new stadium in Omaha. It was the first year for the brand new stadium in Omaha, and I remember sitting there. I loved that team too. Like that team, we covered them heavily throughout the year. We knew they were going to be good, so you kind of, this is when I worked at WKRN, so local news station. So they sent us the entire week to cover Vanderbilt's first ever trip to the College World Series. And I remember distinctly, still to this day in 2011, them in the opening ceremonies, walking out with the Vanderbilt flag and the American flag from center field, walking out, being introduced. There's fireworks going off. It's the night. I mean, I just remember just chills watching that, knowing that this is the first one ever for this school, knowing how cool the moment was, and the entire experience, top to bottom, for the players, for the team, and for fans that get to go make the trip and take all of that in is just amazing. Now, of course, it's going to be bunk this year with no opening ceremonies. I don't understand that. I mean, you're outside in a ballpark. Why are you going to take away the opening ceremonies for these kids? And they're I don't know. Yeah, it turns it into less of an experience and more of just, hey, it's business. Go try and win a national title. Blah blah. You right? So you take away the experience.
And all the fans are allowed, right? Pretty much, huh?
I believe that I believe they are.
So are you talking about at the stadium?
Yeah, at the stadium. So why would you take the opening ceremony away? Like, everybody's taking the precautions to make it to this point.
I want to believe that it has to do with they're afraid that if, say, one player on one team does test positive, that you're around all the teams. And so then everybody would be
limit.
You're right.
Can limit.
There's a way to do that.
You just made it through an entire college football season.
Yep.
You can limit
You're
it.
on a baseball field. It's very easy to separate 6 feet
without
apart.
question.
And we know way more about this virus than we did back then during the college football season. It is doable. I think it's a lazy cop-out.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, Babs. I think you get the full-blown experience in this situation, especially last year not even having a World Series. You bring it back with the bomb. That's the way you go.
Come on, big.
Come on. Like, why wouldn't you? And I honestly, I wanna be able to experience that, even if I'm watching from home. Like, I never even watched the College World Series. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I maybe have glanced at it a couple times. I turned to it once or twice, but I've never watched it for more than an inning, ever.
And I may be biased in this. I believe that in college sports, this may be the most difficult championship to get to.
Really?
Because of you have to go through your regionals. You have to win that tournament. Then you have to win a 2 out of 3 against a team in super regionals just to get to, yet again, another double elimination tournament to finally get to a best-of-3 championship. That's just, again, my personal belief. I know getting the Final Four is difficult. I know getting to the national championship in football is difficult, but
I was going to say
it's very difficult.
I'll come at you here, though, because in college football,
it's one and done.
You don't get the best-of-3 series.
Yeah.
You don't get, you had an off day, you can still come back and finish off a 3-game series. In college football, if you have an off day and you suffer a loss, maybe not now in the future here as we talk about expanding the college football playoff, but traditionally you have one loss and one off day, you done.
Yeah, it's over. It's a wrap.
Yeah.
Well, and you go back to when Clemson destroyed Alabama.
Point.
Yeah, when Clemson destroyed Alabama, that would have just been one loss if you would have been doing a best 2 out of 3. So it is. I think it's the most difficult, but you look at college football, you only get one shot.
Yeah.
Only get one shot.
But it's a legit point.
Yeah,
so
it is.
Tennessee fans are
rowdy,
excited, all in on this. Vanderbilt fans are kind of I'm getting the whole, I mean, this is pretty normal for us.
We've been here before.
We do this. This is what we do.
Welcome to the party. We always come.
Glad y'all finally got here.
Glad you finally joined us, that kind of thing. And it is such a fascinating and fun dynamic for me to witness. I mean, it really is. Do you think that Tennessee fans pick up and go to Omaha, and if they can get tickets and travel and go and take this all in?
Listen to me, Babs. When is this game taking place?
I don't know. You're trying. You're already planning ahead,
Next weekend.
right?
Next weekend.
Look at you.
Normally opening ceremonies would be, I believe, on Friday.
Friday.
I think it's Saturday and Sunday are the first rounds.
Oh, that's killing me. Cause okay, but let me just say, throw this out here to Ramon. Ramon called me yesterday on his way back from a baseball game with RJ. And
Ramon
was
Foster
saying-
on our morning show.
on
If
our-
you're just tuning
Ramon
in.
and J Mart, you might be listening to
VFL.
Italy anywhere. Yeah,
Yes.
VFL, 11-year pro, all that. Listen, people. He was hype as I was. I asked him, man, did you watch that game? He said, yes, I did. I said, man, you know we're going to Omaha, don't you? He said,
There you
I'm
go.
working on it right now. So if that gives you any inkling of what's going to take place as far as all the Vols enthusiasts, VFLs, baby fans, little kid fans, teenager fans, adult fans, young adult fans, it doesn't matter. We're all trying to go. It is a fact. Tennessee will be well represented in Omaha without question. And this is how it's supposed to be. That's why sports is better. I'm going to be my homer right now. I'm Homer Simpson. Sports is better when Tennessee is great.
Oh, I'm gonna be
Carry on.
Well,
I'll
for
be
the
a homer.
VFL,
Carry
yes.
on.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Yeah. How many times did I call you and Will Bowling homers in the green room prior to this show?
And you know
45.
What? And you're right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You're right. And I accept all of it.
That's okay. It's
Embrace
okay.
it.
We still love you. All right, let's talk about this. If you want to jump in and talk about it, also the Titans will start their mandatory mini camp tomorrow, and they're expecting everyone to be there, locked, loaded, ready to go. We heard from some of the assistant coaches today. One of them, Rob Moore, the wide receivers coach. How much would you love his job?
Oh, my God.
Coming into this season. Tell you what. But we can talk about that. Whatever you want to get into. 615-737-1045 is the number. Also, just on a special day, remembering Pat Summitt. It is Pat Summitt's birthday
The real
today.
GOAT.
Yes. And so we are going to visit with Alexis Hornbuckle and talk a little Pat coming up at 4:20. Buck Rising will join us at 5:20. So Pack Day, we want you involved. 615-737-1045. Dawn Davenport, Ron Slay, Joe Hunk in the building. We're back after this.
Everything Titans. Your home for Titans football and the flagship for Titans radio. 104.5 The Zone.
All right, so I was just talking to the boys about Father's Day because that's coming up. And they were like, oh, like fathers, they always get terrible gifts. Like nobody gets them anything great. And so I'm about to talk about A Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa. And we always talk about, getting the woman in your life something for Mother's Day or, Valentine's Day or whatever. Go treat them at A Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa. Okay, well, dads and fathers, yeah, they would like a little quality time by themselves as well, probably. Maybe they want a massage. Maybe they need a pedicure. Who knows? Maybe they just want time away to themselves. A Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa. That's where you should go. You can actually get a gift card online. They make it super easy for you. amomentspeace.com. Go there and gift cards are available 24/7 on their website, or give them a call at 615-224-0770 if you have any questions, if you have special requests. And you can, of course, always stop by for personal service. A Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa located in Cool Springs. It's right across from 65 from Galleria Mall at the intersection of Carruthers Parkway and Bakersbridge Avenue. Check them out online, amomentspeace.com. A Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa.
Thanks, Bill. Have a great day.
Every time our seniors pick up their prescriptions, they're saving money thanks to Medicare.
I think it's funny that I don't know if funny is the right word,
Yeah,
but
be careful how you word it.
yeah, I think it. I think it applies to a lot of people. But you said didn't really watch more than an inning of the College World Series until now.
Right.
Probably didn't. I mean, you're sporting your Tennessee against all y'all
Yes.
shirt
yes.
today.
Yes.
Probably didn't pay a ton of attention to college baseball until now, right?
Nope.
Now, Vandy fans, obviously, Tim Corbin has had such success there over the years. And like I said, I got to cover their first ever appearance at the College World Series in 2011.
Right.
So it's been sustained, consistent success in that program for a long time. So obviously Vanderbilt fans have kind of always been in on college baseball. I've had this argument, I think it was a couple of years ago. Some people saying, well, nobody cares about college baseball, blah, blah,
Right.
blah. Like it's ESPN's numbers consistently year after year after year, their ratings, their interest in it, their clicks online, all of it have consistently jumped every single year. It is getting more and more popular. And you mentioned it makes it better when Tennessee has success.
It's true.
I say the same thing about college football. College football is better if Tennessee is decent.
Without question.
Just like it's better when Ohio State has a chance to win it all. And it's
Yep.
better when Penn State
Yep.
is good.
Yep.
And it's better when Michigan gets their act together and
Exactly.
is competitive. And Nebraska,
It's been a minute.
Been
It's
a long,
minute.
long time.
It's been a minute
But I
there.
will say,
But you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're a perfect example of, maybe not all in on college baseball, but this has helped you to kind of focus
Yeah.
and realize it's a pretty cool sport to watch.
It is, and I'm gonna tell you this, Babs. Like, I'm a guy that everybody knows basketball is my thing.
Right.
Love football just
we
as much.
expect,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And I love
You
football
did play
just
for
as
like
much.
20 years
Exactly. And
professionally, so.
I would like to go down my football resume, and let people know I was on my way to greater things in football, but
Till you quit, yeah.
Yeah, I had to go tap out. But I've got a state championship in a way. But
I was going to say, till you were smart enough to know that your
See
future
what I'm
was on the
saying?
hardwood.
Exactly. But growing up as a child, everyone played baseball. So the love for baseball is there. It just has to be tapped into. And I think with Tennessee on this run that they're on, I think it brings out the childhood fan in me particularly. And I know I can speak for a lot of people in the state of Tennessee, even if it's not Tennessee fans. But Vanderbilt has done it also. Vanderbilt has made me keep a side eye open to what they're doing, especially when they went on the Vandy Boys. I like all of that, man. The pitching, everything is great. And you like to see winners. You know what I'm saying? So I run with that, and Vandy opened it up. But I will say, as a younger kid growing up in Nashville, baseball was something that we all took to. Everybody
Right.
played T-ball, everybody played Little League, and we were well aware of what the Little League World Series was. Now, after high school, it wasn't that much acclaim and things around it like that to keep the spotlight on it. So people drifted off and went to basketball, football, and other things. But the love is always there. And I think you're able to tap back into it, and you're able to get the masses loving it when you have a school like Tennessee doing good, a school like Vanderbilt doing good, and then that competitive rivalry automatically intensifies it. So
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Well,
all
especially
in
because
for
you
it.
have two opposite
Yeah.
kind of personalities.
Exactly.
And if there's about 3 sports that have really benefited from this, I would say baseball, softball, and gymnastics have benefited from your SEC networks, your ACC networks. And that's where you've seen a lot of the growth because there wasn't any space available for them on on your regular ESPN channels.
Yeah.
And
Those
so-
are the 3 sports that you see the ratings and the interest just skyrocket right now.
And it all kind of coincides to when these individual conferences got their own networks. And people, again, like I could not have told you, even when I was in college looking to go play, what Nebraska's baseball field would have looked like. But I could turn on a Big Ten network and I could watch it.
Yep.
And same thing goes for a lot of these. So now we talk about how good football is, and it's really just been the diehards that have been able to talk about, hey, baseball, 5 teams in the top 6 of the top 25 and things like that. now more people have the ability to watch it, and I think that's why more people are starting to see it and understand it.
And I'm gonna add on to another thing that kind of reels me in. You know, I'm that kind of I'm not a carp. I'm like more like a big mouth bass out there in the lake that you can go get. And what keeps me on the hook is guys like Vitello.
Right.
You know, bringing that amazing energy and everything that he's building up there. And I will say the same for Corbin. Like this,
Right.
it's no
in a different way.
In a different way, exactly.
Oh, Corbs will get his shots in, though.
You
Corbs will
read
get his
something last
shots
week,
in.
and I was like, oh, wait a minute, that was a little slick shot by Corbin. Okay, I like that.
What was it about midway through the
Yeah.
year? He put out like a nice little shot at the fact that they didn't have a full stadium or weren't allowed to have a full stadium yet.
Made it well known that it was not his decision
Yes.
Oh,
or
yeah.
the universities, and it was all the cities.
Corbs will tell you how it is.
See, I like it, but see, he knows what the fan means to the game, and especially growing the game in a city that's thriving like Nashville is, let alone the state. So when you got a team like Tennessee coming in or Arkansas coming in, you want to have this place rocking. And for the guys like Ramon just chimed in on YouTube. He's a guy that said Tony V will at least bring the borderline fans to home to more games, I think. And I agree with that. I agree with that because I'm a guy that's I'm on the fence. You know, yes, it's Tennessee. They're doing good. Yes, Vanderbilt is doing good. I got a side eye open. But when I see those guys coming out the dugout, cheering and fist bumping and chest bumping and doing all kinds of celebrations, I want in on that. And honestly, I started watching it because Mookie Betts, you know, that brought me a little closer to the game. And then watching the way the Braves played in the playoffs last year, that was really impressive.
The phrase "let the kids play."
Oh my gosh,
yes, that phrase
did it.
is very true.
So guess what that opens up for me? That lets the kid out in me. Oh, it is fun. It's not the stale, I'm got to sit there or I got to be at the game to go watch it. I can actually watch it on TV and enjoy watching a baseball game. I know that's a stretch for a lot of people in their imagination about Ron Slay, but yes, I can sit at home, get me something nice and cold, thanks to my buddies over there at Red Dog Wine and Spirits. Give me something nice to drink. Shameless plug. But that's it, though. I think guys like Vitello and Corbin, what they're doing for surrounding the game with energy like that, that's pulling all the borderline fans in.
Well, you talk about the energy and the atmosphere and the crowd and all of that, which I love all of it, minus the Vandy Whistler. We know we all know that's the one energy that we don't all feel. God, that's been going on forever. Anyway, so there's been conversation about this moment from this past weekend. From the Tennessee crowd. I don't know if you can hear it, but I think the announcer basically congratulates Paul Mainieri. And this was the reaction.
Fans, we'd like to congratulate LSU head coach Paul Mainieri on a long and successful career. Congratulations to the Tennessee Volunteers.
I love that.
Oh, and there come the boo
Oh, I love
birds.
that.
There's some people that have such an issue with that.
And okay.
I think that Paul Mainieri would embrace that as his. I mean, obviously, it would have been such a cool storybook ending for him to go out and retire with a College World Series title, and that fairy tale of just perfection would have been great and wonderful. But I think that he's the kind of guy that would actually love where this sport is now, that it's that passionate to where he gets booed on his last game.
Yep. I think that's it. And you got to realize he set the stage for this.
Yeah,
like, I mean, these
he
fans
was all in on it.
Yeah, and then
If he had not said anything over the last 2 weeks, that reaction would have been very
it would have been an
different.
ovation.
Very
It would have been
different.
very different.
Yep.
And that's
It
what I
would
told
have
my
been an ovation.
wife because she was getting emotional watching it. And
Watching him?
Yeah, watching him because they had the top of the ninth inning or bottom. They had a camera on him for the whole
The
inning.
entire time.
And he was crying and you could see it. And my wife's getting emotional. And I said, look, if everything that happened over the last 2 weeks had not had happened, I would have been right there with you. But because it did, I love this. I love seeing him struggle.
I think it was the classless.
Yeah.
That's what
That did
got
it.
him the booze.
That
If
did
it
it.
was anything else, if he just talked about how obnoxious the fans were, whatever,
And that's cool.
it was the way that it was
Yep.
said, I think, that bothered.
And over and
fans.
over, he just kept saying nasty, nasty. They were nasty, nasty.
Yes.
Like, wait a minute. All right, enough.
I
One
feel
nasty
like
was enough.
Nasty is a really nasty
That
word.
is exactly like
I know that sounds weird, but it's nasty. Like if I say somebody's nasty, you know that like I have complete disdain for
I need
them.
to stay away from them. Yeah, and then like you said it perfectly. If you would have said those fans were a little obnoxious,
Yes.
that would have been different. That
They'd,
fans would have
they'd
just been
embrace
louder
the
and stuff.
obnoxiousness, but
Yeah.
they
And
would
if
have
it
cheered.
wasn't LSU, like
Yeah.
it's LSU, do we not know what they sing during football
Yeah.
songs?
Yeah.
I mean, football season.
Yeah.
Come on.
And I
Pot,
would say,
kettle.
That's,
yeah,
I
Yeah.
mean,
Like,
that's a different point.
But this is the thing too. I want to give, since we're talking about the environment that was there, the fans booing. I want to give the fans a lot of love. Not only the Tennessee fans, but the LSU fans too. Because for what was it, an inning or two?
College
it was
baseball fans
pouring
as a whole this whole
down.
weekend.
Yeah, it's been phenomenal. Pouring down rain. I mean, that was a slick monsoon on what was that, Friday? or
It was,
Saturday?
and
Saturday.
they're playing on an artificial surface which can pull up, which would make it even slipperier.
Yeah.
And their entire field is made of that. That's very difficult.
And see, it painted a picture where LSU got their first run in that rain, would have been a home run. And the whole time I'm sitting there like, see, this is a good enough reason for them to go on and try to win. But after that sun came out, boy, woo-wee. Them Vol fans came through thick, boy. And Evan, what is Evan Russell? Boy, that young man, hey, man.
Mhm.
Rocker, hey, man. Hey, dude. Everything Vandy in Tennessee doing right now, hey, man, I know we on opposite ends of the track. And I hope we meet in the track. We meet in the championship game. But for right now, on the way to Omaha, we can kumbaya this thing.
When I
out.
pulled up here on Friday, and I know that our building's probably about 2 or 3, maybe 2 miles away from Hawkins, I could hear it
Yeah.
from when I pulled
Yep.
into the building on Friday. Like that is how loud it
It's
was.
dope, man. I love it.
Let's jump on the phones, get you involved. 615-737-1045 is the number. Let's check in with Richard out in Mount Juliet. Hey Richard, how are ya?
Doing good. Hey, what's the with Arkansas losing? Now, you think that put Tennessee in a good position to win it all?
Well, I think that's Richard, thanks for calling. I think that's a very simple question that has a super complicated answer. First of all, we don't even know the opponents yet, right?
Right. Well,
is
we
Dallas Baptist.
Dallas Baptist just lost, so it will be Virginia that Tennessee takes on in game 1 whenever they do play. Virginia has probably one of the top 15 ERAs in baseball.
Yep.
So they're facing a very good pitching staff.
But
Pitching
you
at this
also,
time of year
you
is
also
very
have to
important.
look at parks and pitcher friendly parks. Is their home park? I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. You can really dive in. I personally don't care to, but that's just me from a college baseball standpoint. At least you can really dive into a ton of stuff as far as okay, they might have this ERA, but look where they play a majority of their home games, or look, Now, I will say with Arkansas gone, at least there's only one team that's left that beat Tennessee, right? And that is Vanderbilt that took
right.
2 of 3 from them.
Yep.
And we had this conversation prior to the show, just talking strengths and kind of weaknesses for each of those teams. We know what Vanderbilt's strength is. Everybody knows. You look at those first 2 pitchers. I mean,
Yeah.
and I think everybody knows that you could probably, if you want to say it's a weakness, I don't know if a ton of the teams that are there at this point actually have weaknesses, but I think you could probably point to maybe Vanderbilt's depth and lack of bullpen, or lack of depth
In the movie.
in pitching. That you could probably point to that as one of their weaknesses, and I think Tennessee maybe is set up better there.
I think with Vanderbilt, the way that team is built, if they can get to the national championship series, they will win a national championship.
Right.
It's getting to that point because after Leiter and after Rocker, your ERA skyrockets, and that's a major problem for Vandy. And you saw it when you were looking at their regional series when it had to go into extra innings, and that was a 9, 10, 11-run ball game. That's what you're going to have to do if you're Vandy.
Yep.
And if your bats go cold, kind of like what happened with Arkansas against NC State, doesn't matter if you have the pitcher of the year on the mound. If you can't score any runs, you're not going to win, and that's what happened to Arkansas last night.
That's a shame, too.
I think you should do a baseball podcast.
Yeah, I liked it. I like what Hunk was giving us right there. Like that was
baseball's my jam. I would love to do a baseball podcast if 104.5 would allow me to.
Okay.
I would love to do that. As a matter of fact,
we'll just speak it into existence.
I think that we should. I think that we
covered.
should do that. Yes.
Got you covered. So Richard, thanks for calling. Very simple question with a super complicated answer. By the way, don't you love college baseball? We're asking how Dallas Baptist is doing.
Right.
But outside
Dallas
the part,
Baptist. Have you ever heard of Dallas
Never even knew it
Baptist?
was
if it wasn't for the first name, you wouldn't even know where they're at.
I just knew it was a Baptist church down there in Dallas. That's what I was just. Oh, they put a team together. That's what I was. Okay.
Yeah, it's an intramural softball team that was
church
made by the
baseball
church.
is no joke.
Especially softball.
Church
Boy,
softball is
woo.
no joke.
Church softball is the most
I've jacked up a
unchristian thing
knee.
you can do.
Seriously, I've jacked up a knee or two in church softball. Tell us your church softball stories.
Man, please, boy. I know they got walk. Man, the crazy thing, they got walk-up music and everything in church softball. Like,
Oh,
like baseball.
it's
wild.
I mean, yeah, it's like rec kickball.
Exactly.
It's intense.
You are exactly right.
I have
exactly
also torn a muscle or two in rec kickball.
There's only one spot that's left for Omaha. That is Notre Dame and Mississippi State. They play today, and the winner of that is going to be in on the same side as Tennessee.
Can I just say something?
Yeah.
I told y'all, man, listen here. This is one going to take nothing but a cool Saturday and Sunday, man. You know what I mean? We ain't going to be worried about this Monday.
Did you call this?
I did call this, Babs. I called this on Friday in the midst of all
Called
the
your
barbecue.
shot?
I called my shot in the midst of barbecue and all kind of things that were going, chaos going on. But that's something I like to tell everybody, man. Like, just trust your buddy. When it comes to stuff like this, trust your buddy, man. I got you. I ain't going to lead you wrong. Not too much. It might be a couple of times I lead you wrong when it comes to Preds and stuff
It
like
might
that.
happen.
And not to hype it, but to our last caller, I would say that Tennessee is arguably the hottest team coming in.
Right.
They're arguably the hottest. I think Arizona last night scored like 16 runs against Ole Miss. That's going to be another hot team, but I think
Arizona's
Tennessee,
tough.
I want to say that Tennessee probably is the hottest team coming into this
You
tournament.
know what? The talk always is in postseason, it all comes down to pitching.
You know what I think
you
about
can do
this
there.
too, though? I think about this team when I watch this Tennessee team. This isn't a team that I think gets hit like I've seen it happen in basketball. Gets hit with the bug of, man, we really did make it here. This
Right.
team isn't satisfied. Like, I thought for one smidget on Saturday, like, man, they were happy to get here. It's rocking. But, dude, you look at them like, no, we got something to do. We got something to really accomplish. And you see it from Vitello, too. Like, none of them are satisfied with the point
that
they
guy.
made it to, man.
That's one of my favorite interviews on 3HL. Like, that guy
Yes.
is
Yes.
he's next
He's
level.
pure energy
Yeah.
is what he is. And with Tennessee, you're right. You watch this team all year. They look like they deserve to be here.
Right.
You go back a couple of years when Auburn did make it to the College World Series, they were in over their heads. Like
Right.
they were just flying on
Yep.
momentum. And
Yeah.
then eventually
And it was so obvious
it was
once
very
play
obvious
started there.
because they had injuries. I don't even think Casey Mize got to even pitch in the College World Series because he was injured, and they were over their head. Tennessee is not that case. They know they can make it to the championship.
By the way, one of my texts from I have a couple of best friends that graduated from Mississippi State, and they're, I love them. They're a little obnoxious. Every single Mississippi State sport doesn't matter. If this is the text I got yesterday. If Miss State doesn't get their Shiano together, I'm going to end up drinking all day and all night.
God.
There you go.
By the way, Notre
I'll have to
Dame,
check in on them.
their
Wow,
batting.
please do.
Notre Dame's helmets are chrome. Like they are just
saw
like,
that.
oh, it's
I saw that.
obnoxious.
I saw that. Yeah,
Oh,
they
it's
got-
so
yeah.
obnoxious.
Don't you mean to say amazing?
Oh, yeah.
No, I mean obnoxious. No, I do.
No, amazing.
Yeah.
No, that's
cool.
amazing.
Hey, listen, though. But when we come back from break, Babs, I got an announcement.
Okay.
Yep, I think you'll be pleased.
Okay. I have no idea what's
I
coming.
know you don't.
Okay. That's a hell of a tease, Ron Slay. You're a pro already. We'll be right back.
Sometimes they just get down to business.
We got a little business here on the table.
Blaine and Mickey. Tomorrow afternoon, 1 to 3 on 104.5 The Zone.
Hey, I want to talk to you about organizing your house or closet or garage or life. I like to say if my garage and my closet and my pantry and my laundry room is organized, then I feel like my life's organized. Maybe you're like me and you want a little help in that area, especially with spring coming on, and maybe you want to declutter and I don't know, make your life better, honestly. Artisan Custom Closets. That's where you need to go. ArtisanCustomClosets.com. You can go visit them. ARTISAN. They do garages. Did my garage. It's amazing. They do closets, pantries, home offices, laundry rooms, mud rooms, you name it. They can help you to declutter. Here, I'm just going to give you a client testimonial. You've heard my testimonial about them, about how amazing they are. Well, here's one from Sarah, who said, after thorough research, countless vendors, we got quotes from everybody. We decided to choose Artisan Custom Closets. Their process from booking an appointment to their site visit to installation was so easy. Our designer, a pleasure to work with. She did an outstanding job. Listen to our needs. Customize our 2 master bedroom closets based on our wants and needs. She was super patient and offered great advice. You just hear this over and over from their existing customers. Jump in, let them help you. You will love it. 615-800-2199 is the phone number. If you tell them that Dawn sent you all the way through June, they're offering 18 months, same as cash financing. That's through June. Tell them Dawn sent you. Say goodbye to your clutter and get your free in-home consultation today with Artisan Custom Closets, ArtisanCustomClosets.com.
Genesis Diamonds is celebrating the summer of 2021 with an offer that everyone's loving right now. 5 years, 0 interest financing with 0 down on anything and everything. Upgrade your diamond, and you can spread the payments over 5 years with 0 interest. Treat yourself to that designer necklace or those diamond earrings you've had your eyes on. It's easy with this spectacular offer, and everything's included, even all our GIA certified diamonds. Pick any item, divide the price by 60, and that's your monthly payment. No down payment is required. You can even finance the sales tax. People are driving for hours to take advantage of this. Imagine a $12,000 designer engagement ring or diamond 10
BHL. Hey, I was supposed to bring my beats one time. When was that? That
Sure
was a couple
was.
months ago.
Sure was, Babs.
Oh, wow.
Failing you guys.
Guess what? We got
Hunks
the
like,
whole
don't ever do
summer.
it again.
No, we got the whole
Well, I
summer.
made sure to have the video on for that.
Yeah, we got the
That
summer.
part.
We got the summer. That's gonna be perfect for June, end of June, early July, mid-July.
There you go.
That's
I'll
gonna be
bring
it.
my rap then. How's that? Welcome in, Dawn Davenport, Ron Slay. Brent Doherty's off, wrapping up the 3 o'clock hour here on 3HL on 104.5 The Zone. Real quick, coming up in our 4 o'clock hour, first of all, today is Pat Summitt's birthday. Rest in peace. And so I always want an excuse to talk about Pat and hear Pat stories, honestly, but we're going to have Alexis Hornbuckle on to kind of talk about Pat and relive some of that on what would be what birthday would this have been?
This was. Ooh, I'm not gonna say that.
Yeah, I'll look it up. How's that?
Just the birthday of a goat. That's all.
Yes,
That's all
ain't
we
that
know.
the truth? And then also we are giving away Jimmy Buffett tickets at
are we?
4:15. Yeah. So because it's Dad's Week here on 104.5
It is
The
Dad's
Zone.
Week.
It is.
You always complain.
Yes.
You were complaining about it. Rhett B's in here,
Yeah.
moaning about, don't give us a tie or some
Yeah.
socks, blah, blah. The
Yeah.
dads always get screwed on gifts and this and that. Well, here you go. It's Dad's Week all week long here
Good.
on The Zone. So 4:15, we'll give away Jimmy Buffett tickets at Ascend. And then we'll have Alexis Hornbuckle on at 4:20, and then 5 o'clock hours Buck Rising. So you said you have an announcement.
I do have an announcement. Over the weekend, after our shenanigans on Friday, I was feeling good, so I went by my phone provider store and got me a phone. And I thought, when I walked in, the people said, they took my name, how you did COVID, all that little stuff. And no, yes, yeah, let me go in here. Once I got in, they were like, man, you ready for an upgrade? I said, yes, I am. What you got for me? They said, we got this new, what is it, iPhone 12, what is it, S? or something?
Slay.
12S.
12S.
Slay.
Oh,
said,
yeah.
And I said, you know what? Man, Babs would love for me to have this phone, man.
Talk to me here.
I
Yes.
said, yeah, let me get the Galaxy S21 Plus 5G. Let me get that. Let me stay in the Galaxy.
Can you
family.
just cut his mic off?
I just,
No, that's mine.
I know. I hit the wrong one.
Uh-huh.
So let me get this right.
Ugh.
So you then said you were joking, and then you got the iPhone so that we can be
Yes.
in a group chat with blue text messages.
And not green, and not have to actually click on a link.
Yes.
This
Because
is
it
correct.
doesn't preview it in our group text.
this is correct.
And we can send the little animal talking emojis
Yes.
that will talk to you.
Yes,
in our,
we can
yes.
fix all of this
Yeah.
since you're the only clown on this show
Yeah.
that doesn't have an
Yeah.
iPhone. But it's all fixed now, right? Slay?
Yeah. It's all fixed. I asked y'all when I sent the text, is it still green? Is the box still green? And y'all replied, yes.
What was bad was I saw it on my iPhone watch that I have, and I
Yes.
went.
It's
well, I
like
can't-
Apple,
Yeah,
where
it's-
it all
yeah.
goes together.
And I went, I can't tell on my watch. And then about
Let
that
me go to
time,
my
Don
phone.
went, nope, still green.
Along with, in all caps, bunk.
And all I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, I am a Team Galaxy member for life. You know what I mean? All caps and bunk. He did say all caps and bunk. But all I'm saying is this can be settled real easily. All the people here got to do is, man, give me a beautiful work phone. And I would text gladly just the people that work from that phone. But I would never, ever give up my Galaxy product.
I
So,
can't believe
like
you.
like Brent and I are right now. We're texting each other.
Yeah.
The text messages are blue and gray.
Yeah, that sucks for you
Yeah.
guys.
I know.
That sucks
I
for
was
you
so
guys.
excited when he's like, I'm due for an upgrade. I'm like, Slay's going to do it.
See?
He's going to do it. I know he's going to jump to the iPhone. He's going to make my head not hurt when I have to look at our group text, our show text. This is going to be amazing. No.
Hey, man, and this is a lovely phone, I might add. Thank you, Galaxy, for coming out with this. I was way, way behind, but now I'm up to par. Shout out to everybody on 104.5
You're still
Zone
way
TV.
behind.
To some, but to some, I'm right up to speed. You can watch us on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, or Twitch. Join in, man. Share it with your friends.
You
Show
are the
love.
reason that we have to put a second paragraph in all the instructions
That's
when we're
correct.
talking about the iPhone or whatever.
This is correct.
And what's sad is, what kind of computer do you have?
I have a Mac.
Are you kidding me?
No, he has a Mac.
Yeah, and I got an iPad. Yeah, I like.
You still have your like first generation iPad.
I still have that one
Yeah,
too. Yeah,
so do I.
So
I have.
I still have the. It finally crapped out on me.
It now
Mine's
gets
still working.
Well, it gets to the point where you can't download new apps and you
Right.
Can't do
can't
that.
update.
Yeah.
And that's when.
But
they
I
get
do
you.
love my playlist on it, so that's why I just hang on to it and just let it ride out.
Yeah.
Plus, it got,
It's gonna be done soon, isn't it?
I don't know. I think it holds on, man. I've dropped that man off of I dropped that off of a train in Spain.
Why do I feel like this is a nursery rhyme?
But a train in Spain. I also dropped
Wait,
it off of a bus.
Isn't that in a movie?
in
like
France.
no, what's the movie where the guy tries to turn the like maid into a sophisticated woman?
Bewitched.
No.
That it is not bewitched. No.
That was a
No, Ramon, that is not correct.
That was a page out of Ramon's book in the morning for birthdays.
Bewitched.
Yeah. Shout out to
Oh
Ramon.
my gosh. All right, let's take a break. Look, we're breaking on time. See what happens when you put me in charge?
I love
Boom, 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 boom.
it.
Let's do
Follow
it.
the book.
4 o'clock hour coming up next. We'll talk Titans after the break.
Do you breathe Titans football? Yeah, so do we. Your home.
Good afternoon. I am Joe Hunk, and Vanderbilt and Tennessee are on their way to Omaha to be in the College World Series. Vanderbilt defeated East Carolina over the weekend and will now face Arizona in their first game in Omaha. We do not know the time for that one just yet. And obviously, the Tennessee Vols defeated LSU, and they will now be facing Virginia in their first game. Virginia just beat Dallas Baptist in Game 3 of their Super Regional, and they are advancing to Omaha. We don't know the times for either games. Those will be announced later on. Over the weekend, Tennessee also picked up a commitment for the 2022 class and gaining running back Dylan Sampson out of the state of Louisiana. Sampson's listed at 5'10". He's 180 pounds, and right now he is a 3-star running back, according to 24/7. And the Jags, who last week said the hamstring may not be that big of an issue, is having to be a little bit more careful with Trevor Lawrence than they expected. Minicamp started for them, and they said that Trevor was limited today and is most likely going to be limited again tomorrow during team drills. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans, the Vols, and 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
The 3HL with Brent Doherty.
Don Davenport alongside normally Brent Doherty, the mayor, but he gone.
He is out of here.
Ron Slay's here, though.
I'm in the building. Right here.
So's Joe Hunk behind the glass, and we are glad you are with us as well. At any point you want to jump in and talk Titans, you want to talk college baseball, you want to talk Omaha.
Hey.
Whatever you want to talk.
Doesn't that just work perfectly?
Go ahead and give Joe Hunk a call at 615-737-1045. He'll get you in queue. We'll get you on, and we'll have a good Monday. How about it? I don't know. I feel like, Slade, this is like a bonus Monday or something. Is it because of college baseball? Is it because of we're moving towards the College World Series? Is it because it just doesn't feel like a typical, I guess, June Monday almost? We've got mandatory mini camps across the NFL, so we actually have all this stuff to talk about.
Yep, and we got a lot of stuff to lay into. And that being said, the world's opening back up, like really official. Everything's opening back up, and we got events, especially here in Tennessee. We got events to latch on to. You know, we got Tennessee doing well, Vanderbilt doing well. You got the Olympics around the corner. Basketball, at this point, it's kind of taking a back seat. I will say, I think it's more interesting right now what we got going on with Julio coming to the Titans and him showing up to what was it, OTAs?
Yeah. And he didn't have to do that.
And he didn't even have to do that. So that right there, that was
no.
big.
I don't think anybody would have blamed him if he didn't show up.
No.
Last Friday, as I was leaving the building, driving through the Gulch, I saw 5 guys wearing Julio Jones Titans jerseys.
Really? They're already out?
Already?
They went to the Titans team store.
Yeah.
And they already
Titans
got
team
them.
store had him.
Yeah.
I told you guys because last weekend we went and celebrated baby Bab's 1-year birthday, and we did it in Atlanta. And I'm walking through that airport Monday morning, flying back home, and there's at least 5 Julio Jones Falcons jerseys that I saw in the short walk to my gate in the Atlanta airport.
My Falcons friends are
a day after the Titans get him.
It's like they lost him. Like they seriously were like, man, we love him. You guys take care of him.
Yes.
Y'all take care of him.
Like Falcons fans are in depression. And my family lives there, so I get the vibe of what's going on in Atlanta, you know, at times just from them. And my brother also lives there with his wife and their kids. And obviously a lot of my friends who graduated from Auburn ended up in Atlanta. So yeah, it's pure depression that Julio's gone.
And guess what, man? This happens to franchises. Like we had to deal with it when we lost Steve McNair, man. We had to deal with that. You know, him going like that. It was nothing more sickening to me than to watch him have to go and play with Baltimore.
As a fan, do you feel like you let it you look at the team like because of McNair? 1 yard away, 99. It's like
Yes.
you look more back at that. Like if you're a Falcons fan now, like the joke is about, hey, it's 328. You know, it's 28-3. Do you now look more back at that a little bit more and go, oh man, like we should have got him a championship. Like, we should have had another one.
Listen, that will haunt Atlanta forever and ever and ever, because what happened to the Titans, that would, hey man, I sound like Charles Barkley. Listen here, listen. Hey man, I'm telling you, like it's like a knife just, every time it's brought up, because we were this close, like, God, just the play to even get to that play.
McNair running around like crazy on the right side of the hash marks just to get an open man.
You put that on top of the Music City Miracle, man. Like that's more than a storybook. That's more than a storybook. And I think that's what we've been holding on to so long, and we finally have some real star power. Not saying it wasn't star power before, but like Julio he brings a little something different.
I was gonna say,
you know what I'm saying?
You want to live in the present with this. Here's the schedule, right? Titans start mandatory minicamp tomorrow. They expect everybody to be there. If you look across the AFC South, remember the Texans are so good. They don't need this. They don't want to do this. They saw
enough.
Yeah, they saw enough. They got enough done.
We don't need.
Yeah, we're good. We're screwed. It doesn't matter. So they just, they nixed their mandatory minicamp. The Colts, they are scheduled to have their 3 days of practice starting tomorrow through Thursday. Is their schedule for mandatory minicamp. The Titans start tomorrow, and then the Jags are in, I think, day 2 today, with still not a whole lot of Trevor Lawrence because of that hammy.
Just a little tight. It's just a little tight.
Yes,
we're gonna be. Yeah, it's just a little tight.
I mean, ask. Let me go down the list. Ask Corey Davis. Ask Rashawn Evans. Ask all these guys. Darrington Evans. Ask them all how those hamstring injuries. And if you want me to go way back, ask Kenny Britt and Kendall. I just blanked. Baylor.
Golly.
Anyway, it'll come to me in the middle of our other conversation. But ask all of those guys how early preseason hamstring injuries, and I know we're just in June, but just ask how that all went down. So anyway, Jags will wrap up, I think, tomorrow, their mandatory minicamp. Titans start tomorrow, so they gave us their assistant coaches for availability in media today, and there's so much talk about Julio Jones and A.J. Brown and what these receivers are going to be able to do and the weapons this offense has and whatever. So Rob Moore, the Titans wide receivers coach, wouldn't you want to be him right now?
Oh my gosh. What? You talking
with
about
that?
Christmas?
Yeah.
Christmas all year long?
So he was asked today about the size of his wide receivers and if he's ever seen a room this big.
Yeah, I think, when you look at the dynamics, the size of our room, when you got, Julio is 6'3", 225, AJ at 6'1.5", 230. You got Racey McMath, who's, 6'3", 6'4", he's 230. You got Nick Westbrook, who's 6'3", 220. Cody Hollister, he's up there. I mean, so when you look at the dynamics of our room, it certainly has to be one of the bigger receiving groups in the NFL. But at the end of the day, it really comes down to us being able to impose our will on defenders and use that size, in the run game and the contested catch world and using it to our advantage and not just showing up and expecting people to be impressed by our size, if you would.
Look good coming off the bus.
Oh my God.
Translate it to the field.
Hey,
right?
I know more. Beware. If you ever get too close, like when you go to the zoo and you stick your hand in the cages and you say we're not responsible.
Right.
You get too close to these receivers, we're not responsible for you DBs. What happens to you? So
we're not responsible for you getting beat
at all. But with that comes another responsibility as far as being disciplined. And you saw things if you watch guys like the greats, Deion Sanders and people like that. They always talking about going against bigger receivers and being able to get into them. And why is that? Because they're not disciplined. So he spoke on them, talking about them being more disciplined in the pad level and things.
Yeah, I think, traditionally with bigger receivers, your margin for error is a lot slimmer in terms of the transition phase of it because they're so long, and the picture that they give the DB, if they're not disciplined with their pad level and things like that, you get against some of these better corners who can read body language and read posture and those other things. You can tip your hand a lot. So it's vital that those guys are consistent with their pad level and what they present to DBs from week to week.
Great point. I mean, you talk about the pluses of being a big receiver, but as he said, the margin of error is much slimmer as well.
Right.
Also talked a lot about Julio. Needless to say, a majority of the questions were focused on Julio Jones and the addition there. And Rob Moore, wide receivers coach, talked about what he's seen from Julio already, leading by example on the field.
I think anytime you have someone that can execute the advice that he's given always helps. Anytime you have a guy that you can point to and say, this is the way you do it. A lot of times for young players, it comes down to being able to see it so that you can emulate it, so that you can copy it, so that you kind of know what it feels like. But anytime you can see a picture of it, a lot of times it helps shorten that learning curve.
There you have it.
Yeah, and we talked about the video that came out of Julio's time when he was in Atlanta, and you see him talking through different, routes and techniques and all of that with the younger receivers saying, hey, this is what I do.
Right.
Try this. Maybe it'll work for you.
Yeah.
So that's in his DNA, and that's something that's important to him. And I think they've already seen that. And the reason they've seen it is because he's actually there. He was actually at OTAs. Didn't have to be. Thought it was great that he made the decision, and Rob Moore was asked about that, about Julio showing up.
Yeah.
You know what? I try not to have any first impressions. Just kind of, wanted to see kind of who walked through the door, and I was really impressed. He was eager to get started. Wants to know what our culture is and how we do things, and he's looking forward to being a part of that.
I'm looking forward to cheering a part of that.
Important.
Goodness gracious, that's it.
No doubt. So we'll continue to talk Titans in our 5 o'clock hour as well. Into the 4 o'clock hour, we've got Buck Rising at 5:20. But today would have been Pat Summitt's 69th birthday. So this is the day that a GOAT was born. And obviously, still a lot of people out there that miss her, and still a lot of people that were positively impacted by her and will never forget what she taught them and how she made them better at not only basketball, but life. So we're going to talk a little Pat Summitt here in our next segment. Alexis Hornbuckle is going to join us right after this break. Stick around.
Getting you fired up every weekday afternoon.
I'm telling you, man, I'm fired up now.
I know you are telling the truth. Blaine and Mickey. Tomorrow afternoon, 1 to 3 on 104.5 The Zone.
Fast Wi-Fi. Oh, man, we all need it, right? You use it to connect to just about everything. So it matters. Fast Wi-Fi matters, and it makes your life easier. That's why Xfinity offers gig speed Wi-Fi. That's the fastest Wi-Fi that you can get. That's a big deal. Big deal for streaming games, big meetings. If you're still working from home, making big plans, it's a big deal for families with one kid or two or three. Doesn't matter, especially if there's a kid who is old enough to have enough devices for 8 kids. It's a big deal for gamers. If you're streaming, I know Joe Hunk over there likes to game. And if you're streaming while someone else is posting about their, virtual spin class or something, you need fast Wi-Fi. That's what it comes down to. And it's also a big deal for maybe a quiet Friday night in. Fast Wi-Fi makes everything better. So check out Xfinity's new gig speed Wi-Fi, or any of their other speed options. Get started with Xfinity Internet with up to 25 Mbps download speed for $25 a month for 12 months. Click, call, visit a store today. Gig Wi-Fi requires gig internet compatible gateway. Actual speeds vary and are not guaranteed. Advertised offer requires paperless billing and auto pay. New performance starter internet customers only. Equipment taxes, fees extra and subject to change after term. Regular rates apply.
Thanks, Bill. Have a great day.
Every time our seniors pick up their prescriptions, they're saving money thanks to Medicare Part D. Now, Washington's special interests want to dismantle this vital program.
back in 3HL at 104.5 The Zone 421 on this Monday. Dawn Davenport alongside Ron Slay. I told you the boys are complaining that, dads don't get any good gifts. So we're trying to help you out because it is Dad's Week all week long here on 104.5 The Zone. And so I want to help you out and give you a giveaway. Caller number 5. Right now, a chance to win Dad 2 tickets to see Jimmy Buffett and the Coral Reefer Band at Ascend Amphitheater on either July 6th or July 8th. The phone number 615-737-1045. Caller number 5, Joe Hunk will hook you up with Jimmy Buffett tickets. I don't know if that's necessarily just a dad thing.
Well,
I want to go to Jimmy Buffett.
See, but they got to beat me because I'm going to call in.
No, you cannot win. You are cut off.
You're
Slay.
busy. You have somebody on the line.
You do. You are busy.
And who we may have on the line is the one and the only West Virginia's own and now Tennessee own Alexis Hornbuckle, back-to-back national champion, and also not back-to-back, but 2-time WNBA champion, also still holding down the steals column in Knoxville. So if you got anything around and you dribbling on the court, believe me, she will take it. Known for taking cookies and dipping it in milk and finishing on the other end. So my girl, Alexis Hornbuckle. What's up, Lex?
What up, Slay? How you doing?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
Doing well. I'm glad you had me on.
Man, no doubt. So we got an Auburn alum in the building with us right now.
Oh man,
yeah,
hey
but she's family though. She's family.
SEC, Alexis. SEC.
You're right.
There you go.
You're right. I have to show SEC love, so I give you that.
Hey, it's better than UConn, right?
That's a fact.
There you go.
Lex, man, we all know we lost a great one. And way before time was due. We can't be the judge of time, but today's a celebration of her birthday, and who better than to get on the line with one of her former players and a former champion under her tutelage, the great Pat Summitt, man. Can you give me a little insight on what it was like for playing with Coach Summitt?
Absolutely. Playing for Coach Summitt, I mean, it's as intense as what people would think. It's very challenging. It's definitely not for the weak-hearted. You have to have some pretty tough skin, but most importantly, you got to want to win at all costs. So it takes extra work on your end, not just the practice times. And she takes notes of that, and she continues to challenge her players. But the great thing I love about playing for Coach Summitt is she literally treated us like her daughters. So, she was very motherly. Was a great mentor, so she was definitely more than a coach.
You mentioned, and this is, I think, a popular conversation right now, but you mentioned you had to have tough skin in order to play for Pat Summitt. But then I talked to you and Shamiko Holdsclaw and all of these players who just speak the world about her and love her and realize what she has done for them. And so a lot of the conversation nowadays is, I don't know if, Pat Summitt's coaching style would be allowed almost or would work in today's society. Why was it that it worked so well and you guys still sing her praises for what an amazing woman she was?
Well, she was just true to herself, true to, the school, the game of basketball, to women. And we saw that. I mean, anybody could see that, but actually being able to experience it on a daily basis for 4 years, I mean, it's a no-brainer to, just appreciate who she was in her whole, entirety, not just on the floor as a coach, yelling at us or making us run, but it's just who she was. Like, she's just a loving person. She would speak to everybody she passed. Excuse me. She didn't care if it was the janitor or the person that owned the building. So that's just who her character is what draws you to say Coach was just an amazing person.
Now, Lexus, I'm a person that was able to walk the halls, man, run across Coach Summitt a couple of times, and she give me a little advice here and there, and really take over the job as far as coaching for Coach Green or Coach Peterson a lot of times when she felt maybe that she could add something to it. And who am I to say, nah, coach, or who are they to say, nah, coach, we got it on this. You just be quiet and listen. Now, I want to know, coming to those games, I was a fan of women's basketball before getting to the University of Tennessee, but after I got to the University of Tennessee and saw everything that she had created and the will that she forced everyone to play with and try to get those wins, the one thing that stuck out to me was that scowl. Tell me about that scowl. How many times you ran in to that
You didn't
scowl?
want the scowl.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, listen, those icy blue eyes, that stare goes right through your soul. Do you hear me?
Yeah.
It straightens you up real quick. When you see those eyes and it's locked in, and no matter where you move, it's just on you. Yeah, you know you messed up, and you know something's coming that you're not gonna like. That's just it's kind of like, you know, some moms will yell at you through their teeth or snap a finger or give you a look, but there's no look that compares to Coach Summitt's stare.
And some I know it because I caught one time in the summer when I was doing something that I wasn't supposed to be doing, and she gave me that scowl from probably the other end of the hallway, which is about 90 feet the other way, but I could feel
And
it.
you felt every bit of
I felt every bit of it. I kind of froze inside. So I know exactly what you're talking about, man. Let's talk about some good times. Let's talk about this national championship run you went on. What were some of the things that Coach Summitt did to kind of prepare you guys for getting ready to walk into what you were walking into as far as going into the tournament, never winning a championship before, and knowing that she did? How would she prepare you all?
I mean, it came down to a lot of preparation and film study, and repetition of whatever we were running. It comes down to execution. I mean, by the time you get to the NCAA tournament, everybody has film on you from your best games to your worst games, and all of your tendencies. And Coach used to always say, it doesn't matter if they know every play we're going to run, you still have to stop us. So that mentality trickled down to every single one of us as players, and almost to say, okay, we'll respect you, we'll respect your team, y'all are good, but y'all not better than us. So it was just a trickle-down effect.
Alexis Hornbuckle is our guest. VFL played under the great Pat Summitt, and June 14th, 1952 was when the GOAT was born. Pat Summitt would have been 69 years old. Alexis, I told Slay, I'm like, I love any excuse to talk about Pat Summitt and what she taught and what she believed and who she was. I mean, I wish we could just have a segment every single day to have Pat Summitt stories, because inevitably, whenever we sit here and talk about Pat, there's always a barrage of tweets, of phone calls, of emails, of all of that, of people who came across Pat Summitt and have some great, either funny or, caring story to tell about her. So just looking back at your time with her and your relationship with her, is there a story about Pat that stands out to you that you remember? Either it had to do with that scowl or, or some kind of caring, incident. Is there something that stands out to you more than maybe the others with Coach Summitt?
Absolutely. For me, it would probably be that 2008 Final Four game. Sorry that my voice sounds absolutely terrible, but
You've probably been screaming at kids all day or something. Lex, come on, man. Let up on them a little bit.
You already know, man. I'm trying to hold it down right here, though. But the Final Four game versus LSU, my senior year, 2008, and I played terrible, absolutely terrible. I didn't make not one shot. I just wasn't in rhythm. It was pretty bad. And I even asked Coach to take me out. And she said, Hornbuckle, we're better with you than without you. So that just gave me so much reassurance and confidence. Like, no matter what, just don't give up and stay strong. And that was the same year she knew my grandmother had passed away during our Christmas break. So it was great to see her have a humanized moment in such a huge game, because it would have been nothing for her to sit me down and put someone else, on the court.
Yeah.
And Lex, that goes to who she was, and people get to see, like we talked about the scowl, talked about her really wanting to win, but away from the game, man. Like you said earlier, she was a mother to a lot of you guys. Like, the same thing that went on with you is something that went on with Shamika Holtzclaw. You know, her being able to corral you all and, you know, treat you like daughters. So like speak of some of those moments, if you can, about being away from the game, like her inviting everybody to the house and her cooking.
Doing dishes.
Yeah, yeah. Pull the curtain back for us a little bit.
Yeah, Coach, first off, Pat loved to cook. And that woman could cook her butt off. Do you hear me? I loved every meal. I mean, every single meal. There were so many dishes that were just amazing. I know my mother got a few of her recipes during my tenure there as a player. But she was just a great hostess. She wanted everybody to have a great time. You know, you're at the pool house. You got the TVs on. You're eating. You're laughing, you're telling stories. Sometimes we'd have little team bonding, you know, like game-type situations to take you out of your element. And it was just nice to see her be happy just simply because everyone else is happy.
That's real right there, man. So Coach Summitt, she cast a large shadow. And for the listeners that's just not tuning in, we're in here with a special guest, Alexis Hornbuckle, two-time national champion, back-to-back, might I add, and also two-time WNBA champion. Former Lady Vol played under Coach Summitt. We're talking a little bit about Coach Summitt since it's her birthday today and remembering her. When she recruited you, Lex, you was telling us a story in Knoxville I'd like you to share with the people if you remember. When she recruited you and came to see you play, what was that like when Pat walked in the gym?
All eyes on Pat. I mean, who's Alexis Hornbuckle at that point? You know, like the whole gym is watching Coach Summitt. Like, oh my God, do y'all know who that is? It's Pat Summitt. You know, but if you didn't know who she was, you definitely knew who she was by the end of the game because literally everybody was talking about it. I just was excited because I'm like, that's Pat Summitt. I gotta show out. So luckily, I continued to always have good games when she was there. So it was fun, but it was nerve-wracking that very first time, and that was during the AAU game.
Right.
So, yeah, that was a little tough.
What's the biggest thing? As I know you coach a little bit and train people and all of that, but what's the biggest thing that you kind of pull from Pat as you kind of go on your career path?
I think it really comes down to the discipline that she instilled. You know, one of her definite dozens is discipline yourself so that others don't have to. And to me, that comes down to how you build your relationships, how you keep them networking, knowing your role, helping other people define their roles, and to create powerful teams no matter what you do. You know, if I'm training, obviously I want to train the kids to be not only great players, but great people. Give them different types of exercises and quotes to help them build character and for them to be okay being different. And Coach, you know, she did that for me and so many others. So I try to continue to pass that down.
Lex, I before we wrap it up, and I want you to tell the people exactly what you're doing now because you just now got back to Tennessee. And you back incorporating yourself and engulfed in the youth up there in Knoxville, and we want to be able to reach out to you and send some people your way. But before we get to that, let's talk about the culture that she built because it's one thing to be a VFL. It's a totally different thing, you know, and like everybody can walk in the club. It's a different room you get to walk in being the LVFL. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a different kind of honor. You know what I used to want to steal some of y'all gear, man. Like, that powder blue was different. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Talk about the sisterhood that you all have, man, that was created in the culture that she created with you all, that the bond you still have today with each other.
Like you said, it's a sisterhood. It's family, man. It's more than basketball at the end of the day. We're only on the court with each other, you know, for those 3-4 years. And if you're lucky enough, then you might be teammates overseas or in the WNBA with the former Lady Vol. But having our older sisters come back and practice with us, talk to us, sometimes sit in a film session and just really come back and give us what what it took for them to be successful under Coach Summit. So that gives you kind of a baseline. It gives you an outline as well. And then that helps you to develop what your legacy is going to be as a Lady Vol based on, past champions and past winners and who Pat is. And that's just something that I think it's automatic. And we try to do the same. I mean, Nikki Anosike, Big Nick, who was my teammate, just had twins in the hospital. Kelly Kane came down and drove up from Atlanta and is pretty much playing caretaker for Big Nick.
Wow.
And they're not the same year. I believe we played with Kelly 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
So it just shows you, like, it's way more than basketball. If any of our fellow sisters need help, need encouragement, need donation, whatever it is, Lady Vol Sisterhood will stand up and show up.
Yeah, that's different. Now, Lex, tell us real quick what you got going on now. You're back in Tennessee, and what are you doing now here?
Now I am training, doing my Alexis Hornbuckle basketball training camps and clinics. I am the official trainer for B-Mays Elite, so I'm helping him to build his girls' side, get those skills up a little bit. So that's working with another VFL, which is cool. Anything that I have going on, you can go check out at alexishornbuckle.com or any of my social media sites. They're different. So IG is Buck1422 and Twitter is Hornbuckle14. So that's what I got. Come see me if you're trying to get this work.
Say no more. Appreciate you, Lex.
Love it.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
All right, y'all. Thank you so much.
All love.
Alexis Hornbuckle. Love it.
By the way, you set me up for failure when I called her.
What'd you do?
I said, yes, is this Lexi? Yes, this is Alexis.
I never told you to call her no Lexi.
That's what's in the text you sent me.
Lex is Lex. That's it. Lex is in that.
Okay, but maybe you call her that. But
call her
people that
Lex.
don't know her,
Not
it
Lexi.
needs to be Alexis.
No, not Lexi. He said Lexi.
Oh,
It's
okay.
Lex.
But I got corrected real quick.
There you go, as you should.
That's my dog. Yeah, Lex don't. That's one thing she don't play. Lex don't play now.
Oh no. She said, yeah, this is Alexis. Okay, my bad. I'm sorry. I will make sure that's correct on the stream.
Noted.
Hey, Ramon just said on 104 out of Zone TV, Joe always messing up names.
I'm already bad with names.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't
Yeah.
need people's help.
It's okay though. That's a common problem.
I'm
making excuses for you.
there
What
you
kind
are.
of Monday
See?
is it?
I know. I'm actually going through the text to see if I am wrong or not, which I am, and
I
I
know,
apologize.
I told you. I know.
I apologize.
Slay's not going to tell you you're wrong unless you're wrong.
Exactly.
No. Very cool, though. But yes, we were celebrating a GOAT today. Pat Summitt would have been 69 years old today. So rest in peace to the GOAT. We're back after this.
When you need to know all the info faster, check out the Zone Daily Podcast with Will Bowling. Available on Google Podcasts, Spotify, and the entire Zone Podcast Network.
Buddy Allen Carpet One, they are your flooring experts over in Donaldson. Check out the showroom, new and improved, 2405 Lebanon Pike. Is your bathroom overdue for a major overhaul? When it comes to beautiful bathroom renovations, the experts at Buddy Allen have you and your family covered. Whether you're seeking a simple update like a small sink backsplash or a top-to-bottom revamp, they have the product, skills, and experts to make your vision a reality. That's one thing that they do. They can help you in any of a number of ways. Give them a call, 615-883-3289. Locally owned and family operated by the Allen family for more than 55 years. Zach, Jenna, and Judson Allen are in the store every day. Check them out online, BuddyAllenCarpet1.com.
Step up to the plate and get the best lines in baseball with William Hill Sportsbook. When you play with our money lines, you win more when you're right. So sign up today and start betting risk-free. Download the William Hill mobile app and your first bet of up to $500 is risk-free using promo code RadioRF. New users only. Must be 21 years or older and present in Tennessee to bet. Paid and free bets. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call or text the Tennessee Red Line at 1-800-889-9789. William Hill Sportsbook. Let's make it interesting.
It's Ramon Foster. And guys, I got something special for you today, okay? If you've noticed a lack of energy, motivation, and drive, it could be low T or something else, like sleep apnea or even low thyroid. Schedule a complete health assessment at Low T Center. Now they offer a monitor self-inject at-home testosterone treatment for $135 a month, self-pay or covered by most health insurance. So if you've been feeling tired, grumpy, have weight gain, and loss of muscle, go to lowtcenter.com to book your appointment. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Summer has arrived, and while there are many things to enjoy, itchy mosquito bites and burning fire ant stings just aren't one of them. Let Arrow Exterminators protect your family and help you take back your yard. June is home ownership month, so it's the perfect time to have your home inspected. You can schedule your free pest inspection by calling 888-GO-ARROW or visit arrowexterminators.com. Family-owned Arrow has over 57 years of experience, and all services are backed with a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Call 888-GO-ARROW or visit arrowexterminators.com.
Spring is here, and Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply is ready with all the fertilizers, seeds, pre-emergence, and herbicides needed to get your property ready for the year. They offer professional advice and know-how to DIY your lawn and landscape care. Don't forget to service your mower. Keep it running through the heat of the summer. They carry everything you need to service your mower yourself or bring it in. Let their licensed and trained mechanics do the work for you. Toro gets personal with new recycler mowers featuring personal pace auto drive. This walk-behind beauty lets you saunter, stroll, or sprint, however you want to do it, as the blade rotation matches your pace. Check them out. 8 locations: Nashville, Bellevue, Murfreesboro, Brentwood, Mower, Hendersonville, Mount Juliet, Franklin, and Knoxville. Go where the pros go. Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply, DickensSupply.com.
Lately, we've been getting a lot of calls and questions about acoustic wave therapy for the treatment of erectile dysfunction. This is a relatively new treatment for ED, but one we've been using for years. This is Kim for the Tennessee Men's Clinic, and if you're looking at acoustic wave therapy or any option to help your ED, it's worth a visit to check us out. Our wave therapy protocols use acoustic wave technology, but often also combine it with other treatments that can give most of our patients far higher satisfaction rates. There is no surgery nor any type of invasive procedures required, and while most clinics you hear about only offer sound wave treatments, with our urologist and provider's guidance, you can likely have sex the day after your appointment and experience fewer letdowns. With another one of our ED treatments, you can last up to an hour and a half, and our expertise in treating these issues means you'll get the results you want. So make your appointment today. We'll show you why our acoustic wave program is the better way to do wave therapy. Call us today at 615-208-9090 or go to TennesseeMen'sClinic.com. Visit our website to learn more, including side effects. Treatments extra. Results vary.
Mike Keith here. You know Nashville's at a huge seller's market right now. A lot of people could sell their homes and make a fortune, but they're afraid to because they think they won't find a place to buy. It's a huge missed opportunity, but my good friend Gary Ashton has the solution. Don't sell without
teams heading to Omaha.
Yep.
It's a good Monday. And then I look on my Twitter and Cam Newton is trending. And I'm
Yes.
all in for Cam Newton trending, War Eagle. And so then I go and I'm like looking at what Cam Newton is trending about. You know, obviously the Patriots today was their first day of mandatory minicamp. So you know that you're going to see the quarterback battle ensue there. And so then I see like all of these tweets and it's here. This is the Patriots on NBC SB, right? So this is their coverage. This is the tweet 4 hours ago. The Patriots QB competition commences on day one of mandatory minicamp, looking like Mac Jones had a slight edge over Cam Newton in terms of accuracy with the rain coming down. First of all, it's 1 day of mandatory minicamp.
Yeah.
But as you went through this tweet
Yes.
and kind of the timeline and all this video is there top to bottom. What'd you say, Slay?
Like Cam can't complete a pass. Like what is like
It's the leggings,
on
man.
air.
It was the leggings that he was wearing.
I mean,
on air.
Like no one is there. Like it's like I don't. Okay, all right. Ball's a little slippery. Maybe they should deflate
I
it a
mean,
little
rain's
bit.
pouring down.
Rain is pouring down. You know, LSU hit a home run when they're pouring rain, so anything can happen. But I'm just saying, if I'm a crazy Patriot fan and I'm looking at this,
Which
this
they are.
doesn't- Yeah, and they are. This doesn't set
Just
easy
saying.
with me. Like this, like Cam, you can't hit. And I know you can go through these videos and pick apart what you want to show, but.
Well, here's the deal. You can show nothing but good Cam video if you want that to be the narrative. You can show nothing but great Mac Jones throws if you want that to be the
Right.
narrative. But
he's not just missing
it's
them.
not just one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
There's quite a few of him and he's not that close.
It's not even close, Babs. Okay, now we on the same page. It's not even close.
I'm just I don't know. I don't know what's going on. It's pouring.
I'm thinking it's Photoshop.
It's pouring.
Somebody did something with this.
I will say that it's pouring.
Cam ain't that bad. Like, golly. Is this man arm? Did his arm just evaporate?
I mean, there's some videos that the drill was for the QBs to throw it high, right? In the end zone, let the receiver go get it.
Right.
Here you go. Like Cam's balls are they're like beyond high.
Yeah, this is Wilt Chamberlain needing to go get this. This ain't a guy that's 6'2" running a route. Like, I'm you know what? While we're on, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna watch a little bit of it. Cam drops back, hits a guy on a crossing route.
You're about to
The
play
guy
by
bobbles
play
it. Yeah, he bobbles it. Okay, cool.
Okay, that's on
his
him.
fault. Yeah. Okay, Mac Jones hits a guy in the back of the end zone, complete. Cam drops back, hits a guy, throws it back of the corner of the end zone, just overthrown. That was 5 yards overthrown. Then they show Mac
Like
Jones.
you're not being sarcastic.
At all. Mac Jones with the exact same throw on the money. Cam going to the opposite corner. Like, it's no – hey, man, this man just threw the ball 10 yards over the guy's head. And what doesn't
With
make this
no
good?
defender.
With no defender. What makes this really, really bad? They're showing Mac Jones the next play doing the exact same pass, and it's on the money.
Cam
That's not
Newton
good.
was consistently first in reps. This is according to the media that was there, that was able to see it. First in the reps, then Mac Jones, then Jarrett Stidham, then Brian Hoyer. I mean, all of the talk is that Mac Jones his accuracy was on point today. How much can you take from 1 day, the first day of a mandatory minicamp? Not a ton.
Before this video, how soon did you guys think Mac Jones was going to be starting for the Patriots?
When they said Cam was hurt?
So you thought week one is what you were thinking?
So
like
you
for
thought
him?
immediately
I'll think about, like,
anyway.
At least week 3 at least.
Okay,
I'll
so
give him 3.
Don, what about you?
I would say I was gonna say Yeah, I was going to say 5-6 weeks in.
So does just watching this video make you change your mind about if it'll be sooner or later in the season? I say later just to be nice, but obviously
100%.
Oh,
and it's
early.
not even a conversation.
Yeah, it ain't. And
Like, I don't know what's going on.
for the listeners on Zone
Like maybe
TV,
he needs to go get his eyes checked. Like I just went to get my eyes checked.
me
I
too.
found out I have to get
I
glasses.
need to go get mine repaired to put them on.
See, like maybe it's that. Maybe it's that. Remember, like Major League, man. Once he got glasses, watch the heck out.
Now, okay,
Got
well,
those horn rims.
Well,
Wild
you better
thing was
hurry up.
good to go.
Can he go get hands?
I
Maybe
look
to
like a
grip the ball
banker.
differently.
Look, and we still don't know how LASIK improved Jameis Winston's passing because we've never really seen him pass with LASIK. So maybe.
Maybe that's going on.
A lot of people are saying, "Where's the video?" And I just
Here,
retweeted
did you
it. So
tweet it?
yeah, you can
There you
just go to my page, Mr. Caples. Was watching on Zone TV. I just put the video out. So
And here's the deal. Go through, if you go on Twitter and look at it,
Mm-hmm.
go through and continue to kind of go down. Or if you just go to Twitter and Cam Newton's trending, there's a ton of video that people have put out there that were there. So you could do that as well. But go through and you can see there's more video throughout the entire thread of the tweet.
and to add on to that, the thing is, like, you don't have just like last year you had an excuse. You had some rookie guys out there that you never developed with. You didn't have the offseason to get ready. None of that. You didn't really know the playbook. Then you got hit with COVID, all of this. Now they went out and spent some money to go get guys that you can throw in their range 10 to 15 yards downfield, if be. You got some good tight ends, some really good tight ends.
It's going to be fun to watch.
Yes, it is. And guess what? Titans ain't got this problem. Where's Julio and AJ?
Oh, Titans got some good tight ends. They got a big tight end.
Hey,
they do.
speaking of, let's talk about that. On the other side, to kick off the 5 o'clock hour, we've got Buck Rising at 5:20, but 6'7", 240, maybe 270, somewhere in between there, tight end for
Slayish.
the Titans, possibly. Let's talk about that. That's coming up at 5 o'clock right here on 3HL.
Coming up tomorrow on Blaine and Mickey.
Ross Dellinger of Sports Illustrated is going to join us to talk name, image, likeness, the college football playoff expansion, and a lot more.
And Coach Dave McGinnis joins us for the
as well as Murfreesboro on I-24. The downtown loop starting to see the amount of traffic that you would expect this afternoon, and I-40 looking pretty clear. I'm Old Greg, and that's traffic on your home for Titans football, 104.5 The Zone.
From the Mark Spain Real Estate Studio, WGFX Gallatin, Nashville, a Cumulus station. Our season never ends. Your home for Titans and Vols football. Trending now at 104.5 The Zone.
Good afternoon. I am Joe Hunk, and both Vanderbilt and Tennessee are on their way to Omaha. Yes, both won over the weekend, winning their super regionals. Vanderbilt defeated East Carolina in 2 straight games. Here in Nashville, they will go on to face Arizona in the first game that they will be playing in Omaha. And Tennessee defeated LSU. Now they are going to Omaha, and earlier today, we found out that it will be Virginia that just defeated Dallas Baptist. They are going to be the ones that are going to be taking on Tennessee in Tennessee's first game in Omaha. There is 1 slot remaining when it comes to the College World Series, and that is going to be either Notre Dame or Michigan State. First pitch of that game is going to be at 6 o'clock from Starkville. Speaking of Tennessee, they picked up a 3-star running back in Dylan Sampson from Louisiana. He is currently ranked as the number 50 running back in the country, and he will be coming into the class of 2022. And down in Jacksonville, the Jaguars are saying that they are going to be careful with Trevor Lawrence because when the quarterback got back to mandatory mini camps, he is still feeling some tightness, and he is going to be limited on team drills. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans, the Vols, in that final hour of 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
The 3HL with Brent Doherty, Don Davenport, and Ron Slay.
Welcome back to 3HL. Guess what? It's the 5 o'clock hour. It's happy hour somewhere, as the mayor always says. So put us in your cup and enjoy it. It's me, Ron Slay, in the building, along with Don Davenport.
I'm in the building.
Yeah, that's what I'm a Joe Hunk behind the glass. The mayor is still out right now. We thought he might have popped in on the second hour, but he's still out. He may come in tomorrow.
Actually went on a nice little recruiting visit with his son to Texas Tech.
With his son Sea-Dog doing some long snapping.
There you go.
Yeah, and then, we were talking a little bit before we went off with talking about Cam not being able to hit receivers and them having some tight ends, and I was ecstatic about not having that problem, Babs. And we don't have that problem down here in Tennessee. We do have a guy in Ferguson who can get the job done if need be. But we also have a guy that they just went out.
If need be.
Yeah, you don't want to put all that on him.
I'm going to go ahead and tell you, anybody that is within that Titans organization is publicly sold on Ferkser, right?
Right, yeah.
And
without question.
I think anybody that's played with him, everybody's sold on Ferkser on that side. I think your fan base is kind of, don't really
mulling
know.
over it a little bit.
Yeah. But, Coach Mack's like, he's super consistent. I'm like, okay, well, do you want more than super consistent for tight end 1? I don't know.
Should tight end 1, in case a guy go down, such as a tackle, be able to, switch his role from being a receiving guy to blocking guy, such as John had to do last year? What if that just happened? We needed more blocking out of Ferguson than receiving. Could he do that? What you think about that?
Who knows?
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
We
know he can receive.
I have said, obviously, I think the Titans need to make a move there. Here's the thing, though. They've made their moves. They've shored up the loss of Corey Davis and then some. And you know what you have in Derrick Henry. You know what you have in Ryan Tannehill. There's not a whole lot left that you can do at that tight end position. Right. And that's what I've said, that you're not going to go out and sign, some well-known top tight ends.
I'm not just walking around all the time.
You're not just walking. Right. Dude, Slade, let me ask you this. 6'8", 280-ish
right now.
Oh, 280-ish.
hovering around 79, 78.
Hovering. Okay.
Based on how well he ate over the weekend.
Yes.
Well, it didn't help.
Oh,
us
he
what we
did
just
bring
had.
it. He did bring.
Yeah.
He did bring us some Slim and Huskies
Yeah.
today. Oh, that was good.
First time I've ever had that.
What'd you think?
Delicious. And I had whatever Dawn ate.
California love.
With
It
shrimp.
was really good.
With shrimp. It was so good. Thank you, Slay. Anyway, could you have, you're a basketball guy.
Right.
For those that don't know, Ron Slay, VFL, played professionally overseas for, I don't know, like 20 years. I don't know what the actual number is, but it's close to that, right?
Yep, it is.
So, and you played football in high school.
Right.
Could you have played the tight end position? You're a big guy, you're physical. You were 240 at your playing weight, right?
Right. Yep.
So 6'8", 240. Could you have played tight end?
I believe so. You know, I think so. I think with that, you have to. It's a fine line. What you're gonna be? Can you be that blocking tight end? Can you be the receiving tight end? I think that's the line drawn, and that's where you start to excel, and where packages can be made around you and things like that. But as far as just being able to do it, I had good hands. I had good feet. I was an athlete. I wasn't scared to deliver a blow. Didn't really like taking licks. You know, I mean, I'd rather give them. But, you know, I mean, it comes with the territory. But as far as, you know, having the coordination, the high point balls and being able to hold on to balls and things like that, I think it would have transitioned well to it if I would have stuck with it.
So I asked that because the guys at Broadway Sports, at Broadway TN, found this on Instagram that the Titans apparently have a new tight end coming in. They start their mandatory mini camp tomorrow. By the way, it starts their 3 days of mandatory mini camp, and they expect everybody to be there. They don't expect any drama, or they don't expect anybody to be missing. So I believe it was Robert Greenlaw that initially put this out there. He said, your new Titans tight end one is Hassan French. Former SLU Billiken power forward, per his Instagram story. 6'7", listed at 240 pounds, very similar to Ron Slay back in your basketball days. Hassan French, who played basketball at St. Louis, was a power forward for them and was a heck of a player in the A-10 for St. Louis. Had 59 block shots his rookie year and that was a record in the A-10. Didn't start playing basketball till 8th grade.
Athlete.
Grew 5 inches, had a 5-inch growth spurt in a year.
Wow.
And so that's why he started playing basketball. Was a youth league running back playing football.
Derrick Henry back then.
Yeah, exactly. He was that big playing youth league running back.
Aren't there weight restrictions?
Well, now his backstory did say that he didn't hit that growth spurt till middle school. So maybe he was still
and that makes
somewhat smaller in youth league football. Who knows? But you know what? The Titans are like, let's give it a whirl, right? Let's see how this works. So Hassan French will give a shot at the tight end position for the Tennessee Titans.
Hey, I'm all for it. The one thing about it, being able to have 59 blocks in a year, like that is, you can't. Okay, so
that was his rookie year. Slay.
Yeah, exactly.
Like freshman coming in. Now he did go. I don't remember what high school he went to, but it was a prep school.
Okay.
So that's kind of a different world. You went to
Oak Hill Academy.
Oak Hill.
Yep.
So it's a little bit of a different world. You're not coming straight out of high school, jumping into college, but as a rookie.
Yeah.
Freshman.
Yeah, that's tough. But let me clear that up too real quick, Babs. Oak Hill is not a prep school like that. It is a prep school, but not the fifth-year prep schools that everybody has in their mind. That's what Coach Smith was alluding to, too. He had to fight those demons. For some reason, everybody thought it was a prep school because you have prep school on it. But you're thinking of the traditional, especially in football, Hargrave Military Academy and places like that, where you add that fifth year on, which really helps.
That's a prep school, an official prep school.
We were a high school, but played a prep school schedule. But this guy right here had over 200-plus blocks. That's more than just being a defensive guy as far as sliding your feet, effort and energy, going to get rebounds. You got to be able to get off your feet to block shots.
Yeah.
And have some timing.
Well, and Mike Herndon at Mike Miracles tweeted video of a couple.
Oh, did?
Or I guess one of his blocks.
Sent it somewhere, huh?
Nasty.
Impressive. It's a good way to use the word nasty.
Chris Porter like?
Yeah.
Because Chris Porter used to send them things.
Well, I don't know if it was Chris Porter like, but I'm an Auburn girl, so
it was nasty.
Is Chris Porter out of jail, by the way?
He was in jail?
Hopefully. Yeah.
No, he is out.
Bro.
He's out. Okay.
He is out because they have a Facebook check alumni on SEC alumni on Facebook, and
Oh, nice.
he was chatting on there. Yeah.
Okay.
I want to get him on the
We got to
Boom Boom
check
Room.
in with him. Yeah.
But this guy being able to block shots, that to me is a tight end being able to high point balls in the red zone. That could bode well for him. He has a frame on him. I think you said he was like 270 now. You know what I mean? So he's been hitting
that's
that
what
iron.
somebody said. Yeah.
He's been hitting the weight, so he could be a guy to get in there and block a little bit. We'll just see.
I think it's fun.
Financially, yeah. And financially, he's only a league minimum.
Well,
without question.
That's it's an experiment. Maybe it works. Maybe it doesn't. Who knows? But I think it's fun.
You get him for a Subway sandwich and a bag of Ruffles.
There you go. Get him in there. I went back and read like one of his articles from his high school because he was one of the guys that, do you remember when ESPN used to do this? They would pull like basketball players that they thought would be great in football, like basketball recruits, and pull them from the class and be like, this guy would be successful on the in a college football team or whatever. So I went back to read some of the articles about this Hassan French from back in high school, and one of them was like built like a tight end. And this was from 2007 or 16 or something. So it was a while ago. But one of the quotes that the writer used from him, I'm going to read it to you and then tell you why. Here's what he said, talking about rebounding. That's what gets me going. I love rebounding and I love playing defense. Rebounding is stuff I can control. I always told myself if I worked hard, I'd always be able to play. That to me tells me what kind of person and athlete he is, right? Because every single coach you've ever had always tells you that rebounding is nothing but effort. Right?
That's it. Without question. Yep.
It's effort. It's go
Not
for
the guy
it.
jumps
It's
the
put
halves or
yourself
none of
in a
that. Yep.
position to
Yep.
win the ball. That's
Yep.
what rebounding is, all effort. That quote tells me what kind of worker he is, that he believes. And the part where rebounding is stuff I can control.
Yeah.
Now, will that get you a spot on a roster in the National Football League? No.
Right.
But it might make it interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, you never know how the ball will bounce. You have no earthly idea. So put your best foot forward and put yourself in position to have that opportunity, which he has done. What do you make of it? That's all you can ask for.
And meanwhile, Anthony Ferkser is like, all of you jerks just counting me out right now. Let's go.
First you talk about a trade to try to bring in a tight end. Now
Zach
you're
Ertz
bringing
is going to come be a Titan. Yes.
Now you're wanting to bring in a basketball player from college. Like,
right?
seriously.
Like this Hassan French guy? Are you kidding me? He's
See-
never played tight end at the collegiate level. Like, come on, guys.
Hey, you know what? See, my thing is, man, the more depth, the better. You know, I expect
Push
Ferguson-
each other in
yeah,
practice.
there you go.
Here
That's
you
all
go.
we're looking for. That's all
Yes.
we're looking for. Hey.
All right. Well, we got Buck Rising coming up. Our weekly with Buck Rising is next. Also, have a giveaway. Do you want me to do it now or when we come
Another
back?
Dad's Week
Whatever
giveaway.
floats your boat. But while you're looking at it, I also need to apologize. I said Michigan State instead of Mississippi State when I was updating the College World Series. I apologize. So, whatever
That's
you
what
would like to do.
Ramon
Oh,
said
I
it.
was going to
Ramon
say not
said
when
it.
you talk to
No,
us.
not when you talk to you guys. Just
Okay.
a minute ago during the update, I said Michigan State. I actually meant Mississippi State.
Yeah.
Again, Joe's bad with words.
Mississippi State fans will get on you now.
And one
Yes,
did.
they will.
Good. That means they're actually listening to you, Joe. There you go. Yes, it is Dad's Week here at 104.5 The Zone. I'm going to give away Braves tickets after the break. Stay with us.
Need a Titans fix? Bam! Just ask Alexa to play 104.5 The Zone, your home for Titans football and the flagship for Titans radio. 104.5 The Zone.
Go up to Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. That's where you need to go to get that next new vehicle if you're looking for a car.
Welcome back to AHL 104.5 The Zone. I've talked about it being Dad's Week. We're going to celebrate all your dads out there on 104.5 The Zone.
Woo-hoo!
And I know, you complain about bad Father's Day gifts. Well, here you go. Giving you a chance to win dad tickets to events and concerts this entire week for Father's Day. And today, I'm going to give away, right now actually, I'm going to give away some tickets for the dads out there who are Braves fans. Caller number 5 right now, your chance to win a pair of tickets to the Atlanta Braves versus Tampa Bay, the Rays, on Sunday, July 18th at Truist Park. Here you go. 615-737-1045 is the number. Call Joe Hunt. Caller number 5 right now. Special thanks to the Atlanta Braves. Weekends are exciting at Truist Park following every Friday night game. The sky above the park lights up with the number 1 rated fireworks show in the Southeast. They say every show is different, too. Slay, that's kind of fun. Every Friday home game during the 2021 season, your Atlanta Braves will be wearing their home red jerseys, so all fans are encouraged to also wear red so you can red it out there. Then every Saturday, the gates at Truist Park open early. Fans can watch Braves batting practice from the outfield. Bring your glove, catch some home run balls. They have all of this. Plan your summer trip to Truist Park and check out the full schedule. Get your tickets at braves.com/tickets. I feel like we need to make a 3HL trip to Atlanta, see the Braves play.
I think we do too.
Yeah, we can stay at the Davenport Casa.
Yes.
Parents would love to have us.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
I'll get some of that good cooking. Yep.
No, I'm sorry, Slay. I said stay at the Davenport Casa. We don't cook at the Davenports. We own a restaurant.
Got a restaurant. I know, yeah. So y'all cater it in. It's easy.
That's right.
Davenport.
We'll cater it in. Good point. They just eat at the restaurant every night. All right. Welcome in. Hey, it's time for a very special guest. Originally from, well, at least went to college.
Who made this?
Indiana. Buck Rising joining us from the Buck Rising Show. You can catch him from 10 to
1.
10 to 1.
Yep.
Sorry, Buck. I know when your show is. I listen to you all the time because I text you and tell you when you're wrong with your takes on your show every single day. So good to have you.
Straight up harassment. The people don't know what I have to deal with mentally while I'm trying to do a solo radio show. Dawn's
so
peppering me as if I don't have enough going on. Dawn's peppering me with, no, you were an idiot for that, or this is so stupid what you're saying. Meanwhile, I'm trying to balance a million other things and still text Dawn back, which I do successfully every time. Hello, friend.
Hi, friend. I appreciate it, and I'm sorry. That's a crappy move by me, but I really do. Every time you say something I don't agree with, I'm like, send. So I'm sorry. I'm
rapid fire bullying from my friend Dawn Davenport.
I am very impressed though that you respond back to me because it's hard for me, even with Brent not here. It's hard for me to be able to do everything. So your multitasking skills are amazing. Well done, friend.
I think that was a shot at you, Slay, having to do everything. Like you're not doing your own fair share. What is happening?
No,
What
it
is
was.
happening?
You can't turn us against each other.
No, you can't. Nice
do it,
try. Nice try. God, you're so controversial, Buck.
I'm really good.
Hey.
Really good.
Speaking of controversial, actually, it's non-controversial here, but I think it's fascinating and I think it's fun. Apparently, there's going to be a 6'7", 240-pound, basically Slay, who used to play basketball and never played college football, showing up with the Titans tomorrow to see if he can possibly help at the tight end position. What do you think about this?
So Hassan French is the aforementioned power forward. I had a buddy of mine who went to St. Louis for law school where Hassan French played college basketball and said the Titans are frauds, but if Hassan French makes the roster, he's all in. I mean, we've seen this happen before, and the Titans are obviously exploring different ways that they can kind of bolster the tight end depth. Right now, it's just a tryout at this point, heading into mandatory minicamp, which begins tomorrow, and then they'll reevaluate their position groups before fall camp begins once the NFL comes back from the summer vacation that they're all getting ready to take. So, I mean, they're kind of doing this already along the offensive line with Adam Kuhn, the Michigan wrestler, who is now learning how to play offensive line for the first time in his life. I was just now catching up on the Titans assistant coach's Zoom availability because they ran them during my show, so I'm just rewatching them back on YouTube. And Keith Carter talking about Adam Kuhn in the same kind of position, a transition, clearly a superior athlete, but having to experience football for the first time at the professional level. So it's a ground-up type of build, but there is precedent there for having players, specifically college basketball players, come in, play tight end, learn the position, and perform at high levels. It's not. I'm not saying that it's going to happen here. I'm not saying that Hassan French is going to come in and immediately unseat Anthony Ferkser or Jeff Swaim or any of these other guys who are probably in better position on the depth chart because they've played tight end before. But there's nothing wrong with taking a flyer on a tryout guy at this point, and it doesn't necessarily guarantee that he makes the roster. But if they feel confident in their ability to kind of get something out of him, where he's clearly just a has freakish athletic ability, then why not take a shot at it?
Yeah, I like this book. I like anytime you open up the new doors and give guys opportunity to pull people in. Now, as a fan, you have to pat guys on the back and tell them everything's going to be all right. This is not a guy coming in to trying out for tight end one. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is something to solely get depth. Let me ask you this. Say Tebow is released. Do the Titans hurry up and pick up Tebow for depth?
Oh, my gosh. I love that you just did that. Just just turn it. Just stab that little screwdriver in the back.
I mean, hey.
There you go.
What else?
What do you think? What do you think, Buck?
What do you think, Buck?
What do I think? What do I think? I'm about to throw my phone against the wall. Tim Tebow. If that was to Slay, I would love it because it would be great for business. But outside of that, it would be a major annoyance, and it would never happen on any other professional football roster other than where he's the coach's boy, which is clearly what's happening in Jacksonville.
Yeah, ain't no doubt about that. That's his son. I think we all see that. We got to hear some from the receivers coach, and he has something to work with, man. He's talking about, these guys lining up being a nightmare. What do you expect to see from these guys coming in minicamp and trying to get this camaraderie together?
Well, I mean, we've only seen one practice and really not even a practice, but one off-season voluntary workout of Julio Jones. And he's clearly a cut above all of the other guys who were out there, understanding that A.J. Brown currently was not out there during OTAs because he's rehabbing both of the knees that he had off-season procedures on. So, I mean, the expectation for me is that they've got a lot of similar body types, if not similar skill sets among the wide receivers. They're all pretty substantial in size. I think Batson and A.J. Brown might be the only ones under or 6 foot and shorter at this point. A.J. Brown is 6 foot 230, so it's not like he's a small individual, but they have some length and some size at the wide receiver position. Now, blocking is something that's critical in this particular offense with Derrick Henry as your running back. What their willingness and ability is in that regard remains to be seen because, of course, that was one of Corey Davis's best attributes. And I think at a certain point it's kind of started to wear on him physically. And then, when he got an opportunity to go to New York Jets in a more pass-friendly offense, he took that opportunity. So with these wide receivers in minicamp, I'm just looking to see, how they coalesce with Tannehill because he'll be working with 2 new targets specifically in Julio Jones and Josh Reynolds. They've had time to develop that chemistry, given that Tannehill showed up, I won't call it early for work, but coming in the second week of the 3 weeks of voluntary workouts is a big deal. But something that's going to be important with these guys as they kind of try and get to know each other, understand each other's tendencies, and work through, the specificity of the routes and the depth that Ryan Tannehill likes these things run, because that was one of the biggest things that the receivers pointed out to us in the change from Marcus Mariota to Ryan Tannehill is just how hard Tannehill drills them on the routes that they run and his expectation of them. So how much time they continue to work together, how much time they continue to spend together after practice. Julio talked about going out to dinner with Tannehill right when he got into town, something that the starting quarterback is very, very clearly aware of. And it's not his first time doing this. So they've got a lot of talented players at the position in a way that I don't think you could have said that before they traded for Julio. Josh Reynolds looks markedly better as a 3 than he does as your second option at this point, and it gives you a little bit of wiggle room if in case A.J. Brown is kind of slow to work back from the procedures that he had during the offseason.
So have you gone back? I think you've listened to a lot of the Rob Moore, Titans wide receivers coach on your air, because I think you played a lot of it. But what stood out the most in some of the assistant interviews today, Zoom media availability that you have gone back and listened to? What stood out the most to you?
Well, I'll be honest with you, Don. I've only made it through 2 of them. They had a bunch of two plus Rob Moore, because I carried it on the air today. You're right. But in going back and listening to Keith Carter specifically talking about the second-round pick, Dylan Radins, because, of course, they'll have healthy competition at right tackle, but Radins has played both tackle and guard at this point, kind of trying to figure out where the sweet spot is for him. So he said, and Keith Carter's not going to rip him publicly, but they said that he's performed exceptionally well at those 2 things. The thing that they're coaching him up on the most is, how to adopt the mindset of fast and violent first. Don't worry about taking the perfect first step in your pass set or in the run blocking scheme, the outside zone scheme that they like to predicate everything off of. Don't necessarily worry about the perfect step. Take a good first step. Understand that, but just approach the play with that kind of mindset, that aggressiveness, that violence that you see from the rest of the offensive linemen the Titans have in front of Derrick Henry. Radins is from what I understand, just kind of watching him and reading up on him, he's a hugely analytical person. He likes to diagnose things in real time, and sometimes, so I can speak to this as an athlete, if you overthink things, it can bog down the speed at which you can perform, and that can be a hindrance to a degree.
I've always said that's Ryan Fitzpatrick's issue. That's why he's not a better quarterback than what he is, because he thinks too much.
Yeah, it's entirely possible. There's things are moving way too fast for you to be thinking about too terribly much, other than what exactly you're trying to execute and who your assignment to block is in front of you. So I think that's something that we'll continue to see play out at right tackle. It's good for them that they have a couple of options, both in Kendall Lamb, who they brought in the offseason, and re-signing Ty Sambrailo, who looked honestly substantially better at left tackle than he has as a right tackle, because he's bounced around the league a little bit at this point as a swing player. So they'll have the opportunity to try a handful of different guys there. But it sounds like they're pretty pleased with the performance of the second-round pick thus far. And, there's only so much you can learn about Caleb Farley and how well he does in the meeting rooms, because outside of that, I think outside of wide receiver, now that Julio is here, I think the attention now focuses to Caleb Farley, who has still not been able to participate as he rehabs his back injury.
Well, I'm a guy that's standing beside Caleb Farley, so he know he got his number one fan than me, so he got a voice on the radio. But outside of that, book, listen, man, let's talk about these linebackers a little bit. This unit that we have. They just ended up signing Weaver, getting him taken care of. What do you expect from this group, this unit of linebackers that we got coming back? You got veterans, you got guys bouncing back off injury, you got guys needing to come in and prove themselves. What do you expect out of these guys?
You talking inside linebackers? You talking outside linebackers?
I'm really talking about all of them as a unit, but specifically inside right now.
Okay, well, inside, it's Rashaan Evans and Jayon Brown in a contract year, so they have to perform. They have already drafted. They'll call him a backup for Rashaan, but it could also be viewed as a replacement if he's capable. Given that they have not picked up the fifth-year option on Rashaan Evans, he has a lot to kind of figure out in his fourth year, which is interesting to think about, because in his rookie year he performed exceptionally well. I remember reading a column from John Glennon while he was still at The Athletic about how Derrick Henry was trending down and Rashaan Evans was trending up, and now the tide, for lack of a better term, no pun intended, has turned. And that is the exact opposite of what's happening. So Evans has all the physical ability in the world. He has a bit of a processing issue and frankly, just kind of a control issue. Like, he does not he does not keep his emotions in check. And I understand this is a fast, violent, physical, and emotional game. So I can't imagine how it is if you're going to try and do the things and play with the aggression that Rashaan Evans does and then be asked, control it, though, figure it out. Right. But a lot of great players have done that. It should be the expectation of a former first-round pick to be able to do that, because otherwise he's going to see himself on the way out. They're not going to pay both of them if they do, in fact, pay one of them between him and Jayon. Jayon's certainly going to come at a premium. He's a coverage linebacker. The market wasn't quite there for him this year. And provided that he keeps his health with, not in control, you can't control your health, but keeps his health consistently throughout the course of the season, where last year was derailed by his elbow basically exploding in Baltimore. He's going to see a fair market, and that's going to be a decision the Titans have to make, probably between the two of them, which is unfortunate, because I think in a perfect world, you would find a way to keep both of them together, because David Long at this point is not a solution, even though a lot of Titans fans seem to like his energy. The energy is fine. The ability is not quite there, and he suffers from the same thing as Rashaan Evans does, without the overwhelming talent that Rashaan Evans possesses, is that he's a see ball, get ball linebacker. And maybe that reaction is something that can be worked on, but right now it costs them dearly against the play action pass, as it did last year. And the competition is going to be there to be had. Right now the two starters are firmly entrenched, and that'll be who they roll into the season with. But the Titans are going to have to explore other options inside, given the decision that they will have to make at the end of the 2021 season. Outside linebacker, it's a much different story. I mean, we don't know when we're going to see Bud Dupree. We have no idea at this point. His rehab seems to be on pace, but he did tear his ACL in December, and that the expectation should be that he says he's planning on being ready for the start of the season. I would think that would be hugely impressive if he was able to turn it around quite that quickly, but it's not like we haven't seen guys like Jeffrey Simmons do that before.
I was going to say, Simmons tore it back in, February, and was, ready to go mid-season.
Okay, yeah, but you cited the one guy, Dawn. We're talking about.
I mean, I'm just saying, that's the example we have on this roster. Come on, Bud.
No, come on, Bud. That's so dismissive. No, I understand that's the guy that we have, Dawn. I'm just saying he's a bit of a superhuman, and that shouldn't be the precedent that we hold the rest of them to the standard of. Rashad Weaver's he's physically a monster, and I don't say that to be glib, given the legal situation that he ran into. But he is physically overwhelming in comparison to the other linebackers. He's not the same kind of body type that the rest of them are. Harold Landry, too, is our skipper. Dupree is definitely a smaller physically player than Rashad Weaver is, and it's good that they got him agreed to terms. He won't see his court date for quite some time now, with the aforementioned allegations that are being put up against him, given the dispute that he had prior to the draft with a woman outside of a bar in Pittsburgh. But he's certainly a player who can help. In fact, I think, legal issues notwithstanding, right when they drafted him, I thought that he was the best value pick that they had in the entire draft, and that is a position where they could sorely use some depth. Harold Landry, he's going to be expensive, also in a contract year, regardless of how this year goes, because he does have something to him. It's just there are moments, and he's done better at this lately in the last several years, but there were moments when you could look at Harold Landry and see him kind of sloughing off of plays from time to time. That's not something that the Titans certainly preach. Again, this is not something that's out of their bounds to correct. It's completely controllable by Harold, but the evidence is there that if you figure Harold Landry out, then there's not much he can do to counter you. And that is something that has consistently been a talking point around Harold. He's got to figure that out. And if not, he's going to end up hitting free agency rather than sticking around in Tennessee, as he might. We assume, we have no idea, that he might prefer it, but I assume that would be his preference, given that he has a family here and he started his career here.
Good stuff. Always love having you on Buck Rising. You can catch a show from 10 to 1 every day right here on 104.5 The Zone. And then, Buck, your appearance every single day here, or every single What day is it? Monday.
Yeah.
Here with us is thanks to our friends at Buddy Allen.
Yeah, I can't do it every single day, Dawn. I can't take the abuse. But
No,
yes,
we can't
the
take you every single. Oh wait, I do. I listen to you every day.
Don't I know it? The beautiful guarantee is what Buddy Allen Carpet One. It's like what I bring to 3HL, the beautiful guarantee. At Buddy Allen Carpet One, they know how important it is to feel confident in your flooring selection. You want to know it's going to look exactly the way you want once it's installed in your home. That's why they offer you unmatched peace of mind with their one-of-a-kind guarantee. If you're not happy, they will replace it for free. That's what they call the beautiful guarantee. It's Buddy Allen Carpet One. You can check them out at 2405 Lebanon Pike in Donaldson, or give them a call at 615-883-3289. Goodbye, friends.
Goodbye. Thank
Goodbye,
you, Buck
Buck.
Rising. By the way, it's National Bourbon Day. Buck Rising doesn't drink bourbon, so we didn't bring that up with him.
What does he drink? Vodka.
I don't know.
Martinis.
Probably,
In his short shorts.
Long Island teas.
Something funky. All right.
Martinis.
We're back to wrap up the 5 o'clock hour after this. Stay with us. Martinis.
Get Jason Martin and Ramon Foster on J Mart and Ramon. Tomorrow morning from 6 to 10 on 104.5 The Zone.
All right, I want to talk to you about my friends over at Loan Pronto, because you've heard home loan rates are incredible right now. They're back down again, which means you got to jump on it right away. And Loan Pronto is how you need to do it. I'm actually in the process of doing it right now. I'm about to go online. This all digital process for Loan Pronto is fast and it's easy, and most loans get closed in 14 days, and most of them don't even require an appraisal. I'll let you know how my entire process goes, but I've done a bunch of research, and now I want to take advantage of Loan Pronto's special zero-cost refi program, especially right now. And even if you refinanced last month or last year, you can still do it again. The all-digital process is super easy. And also, ask about how easy it is to get cash out of your home's equity. You can refinance right now and get $30,000, $50,000, $80,000 or more out of your equity with home values in our area way, way up. Use that to your advantage. Get that cash out to pay off maybe credit cards. Whatever you want to do, home improvement project. Call Loan Pronto now. Start the process before those rates spike again. 615-499-5780. You can visit them online at loanpronto.com. Current mortgage rate starts with a 3. Call 615-499-5780. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781. Subject to lender approval. Not all loans eligible for zero cost.
Genesis Diamonds is celebrating the summer of 2021 with an offer that everyone's loving right now. 5 years, zero interest financing with zero down on anything and everything. Upgrade or diamond, and you can spread the payments over 5 years with zero interest. Treat yourself to that designer necklace or those diamond earrings you've had your eyes on. It's easy with this spectacular offer, and everything's included, even all our GIA certified diamonds.
It's not the bottom of the hour, right?
We're about to go into the what? How you
had
say
this
that?
End of the hour.
It's
We're at the end of the hour. Let me try that one more time.
I only say this because I think it's the bottom of the hour too,
what
and
I thought.
everyone's like, no, because the clock is straight up.
Yeah, it's a clock.
So
Bottom means
bottom of the hour is the 30,
4:30.
which is I don't like that.
Well, we're at the end of the hour.
We're at the end of the
We're
show.
at the end of the show. Yeah,
We wrapping it
this
up.
is it, people. You listen. If you missed it, you can always go back and podcast it or listen to the extra hour. You can do a lot of things and just follow us. I'm Ron Slay. You can get me on Twitter, all the social media
At Ron
platforms
Slay.
at Ron Slay 35. You can get at Don Davenport Tennessee TN. Joe Hunk, the mayor's out right now. It's people. You got all kind of ways to reach us. That's what we try to tell you.
We like to hear from you.
Yeah, and you're right here you're in the midst of happy hour, and you've been listening to us, and I'm glad we could keep you entertained. Hope you got something out of this today. The mayor will be back tomorrow to guide us in the show.
A special guest appearance for one day.
For the man, yeah.
I was gonna say,
yeah.
he's here tomorrow and he's gone the rest of the week, isn't he?
We got the mayor for one day.
Why wouldn't he just take tomorrow too?
That's what I was wondering because
Just take the whole week.
he's taking Monday off too. Next Monday, isn't he?
Oh, is he? I didn't even know that.
I
I
think.
didn't know that either. No, that can't be.
Slay.
That can't be. Because
Clearly, Slay and I don't pay attention. No, it could be.
it could be.
Yeah.
No, Babs, it don't need to be.
Oh, why? Are you off next Monday?
I would. No. Not
Somebody on
All
this
right,
show
listen,
is
fool.
taking it off. Okay.
Y'all don't be leaving me all alone.
See, and that's my thing.
She
That's
is
what I had a-
terrified of doing a show just
no,
me and her.
I had
okay.
a private conversation with Brent, and Brent, I'm a tell our private conversation. I said, man, I can't leave Babs by herself. So I was thinking about you, Babs.
Well, thanks.
Thank
Slay.
you. I appreciate that.
But
No
somebody
faith
is.
in me.
Somebody is. No, they're just trying to keep our relationship okay. Hunk just said forget it. He just wouldn't answer the phone. He's done. He's like,
Enough
I'm
is
out.
enough. Huh?
I'm out.
Recap. No recap.
Hey, it's National Bourbon Day.
Oh yeah, and guess
so
what?
what's your favorite? You
My-
have a bunch of.
I got a lot of
How
stuff
is
on
this
there.
even? Here's the deal.
I got a lot of stuff going on.
There's a lot. There's bourbon. There's like 4 different bottles of bourbon
Yes.
sitting in front of Ron Slay right now. Like, how is it that you can get away with that? Like, Ron Slay can have that happen. If I had that, management be in here and be like,
Yeah, that ain't right there. What you got going
I
on?
don't think if you could just remove that, that
Yeah.
would be great.
Well,
But Slay, nobody says a word.
I mean, hey, man, I'm just out here trying to do my thing, man. I got some good partners over there at Red Dog Wine and Spirits over in Franklin, man. So they're doing a great job. I've been given bourbons and whiskeys to try.
Is this
each
like
week.
tasting? You
This
get a
will be
tasting every week? Okay.
Yes, this will be a tasting. So stay tuned. I'll give you something Thursday to really lay into, but I got to taste it first, people. So I'm gonna go home and fix me a nice nightcap. Taste it. The last week it was Davidson Reserve, and I told you guys about that. This week it is Pinhook. Pinhook.
Is that the little bottle?
That is the little bottle.
Okay.
Yep. So
Looks
this-
like it looks like a hotel bottle.
Let me show. I forgot we on Zone TV. I can show you guys.
You can show people.
Look, people. This is Pinhook. This right here. This is the taste. This is 109.9 proof. Bottle 51 of 116. This is a selected single barrel from our good friends Bard and his company.
This is
over there.
perfect on National Bourbon Day.
It absolutely is.
What
It's
would you
perfect for
expect?
you.
What else would you expect? So
I don't know.
I would taste this Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Then tell y'all about it on Thursday, and then there'll be a taste test on Saturday, I believe, from 4 to 6 at Red Wine. You can come out there and have a taste test with me. Talk to me.
Oh, that's fun. So you were talking about like Father's Day gifts are not great. This is a
Hello.
great idea. I have a father at home, not my father, my husband, Mr. Babs,
Yes.
who loves bourbon.
Well,
Would
guess what?
that be an okay Father's Day?
That would be a great
Yes.
Father's Day
Great,
gift. That would be
because-
great.
These boys poo-pooed whatever I got
Oh, no,
him
look.
already, so I'm going to have to fix it,
Yeah,
apparently.
the first ideas were bad. I'm telling you, my dad from my wife is getting my dad Gentleman Jack for Father's Day.
Oh, you can't go wrong with Jack.
God, I just now
You
realized.
should have
he's
told her,
probably-
man. She should have went to Red Wine and Spirit.
Well, I maybe changed it because I
Red
just
Dog.
realized that he probably watches and listens. So
You just screwed it up.
yeah, yeah.
Tell
Hey,
her
well,
she's
guess
gotta
what?
go
You're going to get
bigger
some
now.
special from Red Dog Wine and Spirits.
There you go. We'll take care of you. Hey, that wraps up our 5 o'clock hour. Mayor is back tomorrow for at least a day. We hope
Then you
you'll be
got
back with
your
us too.
Babs the rest of the way out.
Yeah.
On the hump.
Happy Monday to ya.
See you tomorrow.
See ya.
Inside and outside the locker room, we cover the Titans 24/7. Got it! Your home for Titans football and the flagship for Titans radio. 104.5 The